Hello again, and welcome back to the Dev Plays, the Crucible of Avarice, using the Animite Tales tabletop RPG system. Last episode, we had it that the intrepid heroes, or party-goers, decided to fight up against their opponents, the Shadow Party. However, sadly, Stan and Felix, for the first time ever in this Jotun Jail fighting festival, lost at the hands of their opponents, Atlas and Jano Tain. With this comes to the conclusion that only Anarche is left in the Kings of the Hill, and this means that he must now take on, one after the other, all three of the individuals from the Shadow Party. Blaze, the Phoenix, Jano Tain, the Adaptive Fighter, and Atlas, the Titan Child, with all to prove. During this time, however, that this has been going on, the rest of the party spoke with Anarche's other brothers. I say other brothers, all three of Anarche's brothers. And eventually sort of learnt some things from them, they learnt some things from the party, and eventually they gave the party, specifically Felix, a list of 5 items that might help them in the oncoming war, as they had informed the party that despite their abilities and powers, they will not be getting involved due to their own personal reasons, moralities, and jobs. As they stated that the reason that they believe that Anarche is getting involved in this is because that he has very little attachment to his own home universe. So therefore that's what they are sort of allowing this sort of list of items to potentially help you. You found out about the 5 different items known as the Gauntlets of Havoc, the Blade of Oblivion, the Grandfather Greatsword, the Ring of the Forgotten, and Zeus's Bolt. With all of these items in check, you were also given recommendations as to who should wield them and who should be given them, and what should be done with them if and when you do find them. However, you were told that these items did come with some difficulties of getting them. For instance, a couple of them cannot be picked up unless if you have the correct abilities. But one in particular is the Bolt of Zeus, or Zeus's Bolt, which is wielded by an individual called Sezu, a person who is in fact a member of this tournament, but is currently not on the island of Jotun Jail, but is instead somewhere else in the world. On the list, you have been given the rough location of where this individual is currently, as of the last time that they were sent. However, you actually were given his correct name, which could still help you track him down if and as and when. Despite this, we now come back to the rest of the party. It's been a couple of hours since you've sort of... actually, no, we can't come back to the rest of the party because we have to start with Anarche. Anarche, you are now sort of just outside of the arena, about to face off against Blaze, the Phoenix, who is pretty much sort of looking very confident as she basically ignites herself and then begins walking towards and going through the barrier into the arena. You have 2 actions before you enter the arena. What would you like to do? I just realised, Anarche, you have muted yourself. Yeah, you're still muted.
It's mute.
It says that you're still muted.
I can't hear anything going.
I mean, I can probably hear you through Bill's microphone.
Yeah, I mean...
Really?
Yeah, we could hear him talking away.
Yeah, I was like, I know they're muted, but it is still picking up.
Oh, for me, it just says that Kane's muted, and I can't actually hear any of his audio.
Can you hear Bill?
Can you hear Bill?
I can hear Bill, yeah.
What?
That's me. As in Kane, me.
Yeah, I can hear you through Bill's thing. I can't hear...
Yeah, I know. Because I muted myself.
Yeah, so what's the issue?
Oh, okay, right, gotcha. I thought you were going to talk through your device, so I muted Bill's device.
Oh, that would explain a lot.
Right, gotcha. Okay.
We're on the same page here, clearly.
Okay.
Yeah.
Right. Go for it. What were you gonna do?
Well, aside from checking them out, I hate hearing myself. I guess bonus action. I'll get out my 2 swords. Is there anything else I need to do? I need to get my character sheet up. I know.
When you say bonus action, get out your 2 swords, I'm assuming you mean your
Portals.
portal. Yeah.
Yeah. Only peasants actually carry their weapons.
Fair enough.
Did I take any damage?
I don't think I don't think you take any damage, but also like
No, I reset
you're at
anyway.
max health anyway, because it's a new day.
Alright, in I go.
You begin walking up to her as the 2 of you are hyped up by Pinky, as she exclaims that this fight will very much determine whether or not the Kings of the Hill will stay on, or if new kings will be chosen. As the 2 of you stand about 2 meters apart from each other, her in her fiery phoenix form, and you readying yourself with your 2 swords, it is then stated to begin. Roll move speed.
Oh boy.
Okay,
Got to 21.
I got a 9.
Oh. Well,
You may go first. Oh yeah, just to let you know, I'm not doing the public rolls anymore because I wanted to try something out.
Fair enough.
because he wants to fudge it. And that's the real secret.
Well, I legitimately did get a 9.
It's rigged. System's rigged.
It was rigged from the start. That's my excuse if I lose. Rigged. I guess I'll use my Phantom Blade, which is my usage stuff.
Okay.
D13. Uh, 28.
Okay. As you go into slash at her, are you slashing her? Well, actually, yeah, you get high enough to use both weapons. As you slash at her, you do hit her, but she also hits you with some fire from her wings. As you're both dealing damage together.
Alright, it's gonna take me a minute to write my damage.
To write your damage.
Post. You know what I mean. Plus 11, plus 10.
Okay. And you said that you've got willpower, yeah?
Yes.
Okay. So you'll be hit with 20, but you'll actually only take 6 points of damage.
Cool.
As the fire hits you. It does sting a little. It's a little warm, too toasty for your liking.
111.
I want to point out, even if this wasn't willpower infused, that would still... Jeez. I just need to take a moment to have a look at the health.
You
Interesting.
just need to go grab a glass of water, you know.
Yeah, 111. Fucking hell.
I don't know why you're so shocked about that number. Felix does that number in one attack.
No, it's not.
True.
It's not the number. It's more the realization of what that number represents, because This character doesn't have super constitution, and Archaea super strength. This character doesn't have any resistance, and even if they did, because they have an immunity, it doesn't matter because it's energy coated weapons and infused with willpower. And then finally, it doesn't matter whether or not that damage was 100 or 200. This is beyond 2 times their HP.
Fair. 2 times their HP?
Sorry, no, vitality. Okay, so I needed a 20, even with a disadvantage. I got a 21. So as you hit her, you deal all of this damage, and it's sort of like it looks as though it almost like cuts her head off and then cuts through her like midriff and sort of like reels her back. As I now need to roll something else. Okay, yeah, she de-transforms from her mimicry form as she stumbles back and sort of goes to one knee, as sort of huffing and puffing, as she is completely out of breath from this attack. As she looks up at you, everyone in the entire stadium is just cheering, and Pinky just states, it seems as though that attack winded her even in her mimicry form. As she tries to get up, she tries to go for like a swift fire attack out of anger. Would you like to roll for reaction?
Yeah, I'll do the same thing.
Okay. Rolly. Okay, 17. Okay. As you try to move your arm, you notice that her arm is moving faster than you, but as you sort of pick it up with energy, you already cut right through, hitting her. Roll damage.
Okie dokie.
Let me put it this way. The flames barely leave her hand before you cut her.
Oh, hi.
Awesome.
19.
You cut her arm off, and as she looks at you, she sort of like gasps, and as she opens her like mouth, blood just pours out of her throat as she just hits the ground, dead. As Pinky just goes, unbelievable! Anake was able to hit her with 2 attacks before she was even able to land any more than 1. It seems as though the Kings of the Hill like going down without a fight! As some people go to grab the arm and the now defeated body. As they bring her out, she fully restored, sort of like taking a breath and sort of getting herself sort of trying to catch her breath, even though that like she should be perfectly physically fine. As it is then stated that Giano Tane, the adaptive fighter, will be making an appearance into the next bit. You have 1 action. What would you like to do?
Oh, cool. I'll roll my willpower body healing technique. Yeah, it works.
Yep, okay.
The basic version.
Roll for heal.
I think it's just this, isn't it? I don't add anything to my healing, is it? It's just my dice.
I think so, because I think you have to get a 20 for your pure technique one, don't you?
Yeah.
Alright, you're fully healed.
Oh, cool.
As it goes into the next round, Giano then walks up to you. Again, this guy is big, bulky, black, long hair. He looks basically the same sort of size as Felix does when he's bulked up. He's got this strange whip that's tied around his arm, but it looks as if it's made out of like metal and sort of like a weird darkened, sort of tinged, weird look to it. Almost like as if it's made out of rusty metal that has been rusted for like years and years. Roll move speed.
Okie dokie. Can you beat an 8?
I got a 10.
Ooh.
As he sort of backs up and he sort of reels his arm backwards, the weapon then begins to turn into sort of a mace ball hand over his own fist as he then goes to swing at you.
How far away is he?
He is point blank.
Oh, cool. Same thing.
Okay.
Oh, ignore that. I will just remove that quickly. Well, that would only be one blade.
You did
I will
plus
say
5
four.
for the first one.
Huh?
You did plus 5 for the first one.
No, that's my movement speed.
Oh, okay. So you got
A 13.
Oh, okay. Does that work?
Yeah,
Okay.
24.
Okay, so as you sort of go for it this time, he just hits you straight off the bat before you can even make a go. As he does that, he deals... I'm just having a look now. Okay. Terrible roll. He does 30 points of damage. However, his roll is not better than your willpower. So take 8 from that, that's 22, half that, that's 11. So he deals 11 points of damage to you.
Yeah, that's more than she did. By 1 point.
As you sort of like get hit by this, you sort of notice that like that hit should have been more powerful. You are being defended by it, but you can definitely feel there's an essence of will infused into that strike. As it is now your turn.
Oh. Should I be creative? Or should I just keep going? Actually, I'll activate Predictive Instinct.
Okay.
No. I don't know how I keep messing up with it.
D20 equals 10. Okay.
Yeah. Here we go. Yes.
Yeah, okay. So you activate it?
Yep. And now I'll just attack and do the same thing.
Okay.
Alright, so that will just be Swartle. Uh, 32.
Okay. So as you hit him, he also hits you. He just barely. So I got a 33 as well. As the two of you land hits, roll your damage. I'll roll his.
Okay. I just need to remove some numbers.
There we go. Much better.
Sorry. Yeah. 93.
Nice. We got 43. Take away 8. That's 35. Half that. Well, I guess technically half 34. So that's 17. So you take 17 points of damage. He cannot resist any of this damage because your willpower is higher than his. So I'm just having a quick look. So you have taken 25 in total from this battle, and you have dealt 93 to him so far. It also breaks his vitality.
No, I hope he'll be fine.
He should be. Yeah, he's fine. As he sort of reels back a bit, he just sort of looks at you. You're interesting. I thought that the other one would have been much more powerful, but that hit. My damn head nearly came off with that one.
Oh, that's a shame.
I'm sorry. What?
Oh, that's kind of sad.
You dare mock me?
Oh, no, it's not really mocking. It's more, saying facts.
He then breathes in and goes, "Titan Ken!" And he sort of unleashes a strange shockwave that comes from his body. You notice a greater pressure coming from him. As you notice an entire speed blitz of willpower pouring through his body. Like, this is the kind of level you expected from this guy. As he winds up his attacks and sort of readying himself, he then creates a clone from himself as it walks out of him, and then he takes the same stance. The original then sort of like winds his arm back as it then shapes the Wid Gauntlet into a sword, as he then just lunges forward and tries to slash at you with his sword.
Are they both in melee?
Both of them are indeed in melee range, but one of them is not currently attempting any particular thing.
And the original came at me.
Yeah, the original came at you, yeah.
Oh, okay. Well, I'm probably gonna hurt myself more doing this. I'm gonna try and basically do I'm gonna move myself slightly and try and do like a spin attack and try and catch them both.
Okay.
Alright, so this will just be Swartle. So.
Jeez, okay. I'll roll for the other one to react against you, only because, you know. Both terrible. So I just want to point out, the first roll that I got was a natural 20 on activating something.
Oh.
But it was super mundane. The second one was an attack, and I got a 26, and then the other one got a 23. So not only do you stop his attack, like hit him and deal damage to him, you also deal damage to the clone. So yeah, roll damage.
99.
99, nice, okay. You notice that when you cut into this guy and then cut into his clone, the clone has way less resistance than the original. The original seemed to have actually now amped up his willpower, because you seem to not have been able to break through his armament as easily this time. You feel like as if you have done at least 50% less damage than you should have done.
No, fair enough.
Despite this, however, you still have done an incredible amount of damage to this individual. As it is now your turn.
Okay. Just keep going. Oh, I should have had advantage on that. Oh well, I'll do that now. I'll reactivate Predictive Instinct.
Okay.
Oh,
Ooh,
I got natural
okay.
20.
So unless if I get a natural 20 with either of these attacks, you are going to be absolutely immune to anything that I throw at you in the next turn.
Yep.
How the turntables.
Good. You know what? Good.
Pretty bad.
Skill issue is what I'm hearing.
Spoiler alert, the roll that I got, that was a natural 20, was the willpower. That's kind of useless if I can't hit you.
I'll go after just the original.
Okay.
Okay, so both will go. 33.
Okay, first one failed. Now the original. Also failed. As you speed blitz past the other one who tries to hit you, but you just sort of ram right past and then cut into the other one with both of your blades. How much damage do you deal?
136.
Blimey, okay. Even removing all this damage, I think you might actually, like, full on take this dude down. 133. Yeah, 136. 136. Okay. That does actually also break his vitality. Even with willpower, that actually breaks his vitality. But not by that much, okay. So it does cut into him. You do hit him, and you sort of like speed past him as the original just goes to the ground and slams into the ground. As you notice that his willpower depowers and his grip on his weapon loosens as well. However, the other clone looks at him and he goes, "You thought that it was over? I'm still here." As
Well,
now, it's the clone's turn.
Yep.
Let's see. He also screams and goes into a stance, "Titanken!" And you notice that his willpower exudes from his body. But it's not even half as impressive as the originals when he did this. As he launches towards you and attempts to attack. How would you like to...
Well, does he beat an actual 20?
Fair point. Fair point. No, he does not.
Cool. So I believe I don't get a reaction. It's just I dodge.
Yeah.
I believe that's how it works.
The one note from the Ultra Instinct thing plays. Nah. That's it. As he swings his sword and you just dodge it perfectly with barely even looking at him. As it's now your turn.
Well, do you want to leave, or are we ready continuing?
I have not been beaten, and neither has my original. He has only been downed, but as long as one of our clones are here, we can still win this.
Okay. If you say so. I'm gonna use showering light on both of them.
Okay.
From Swartle.
Okay.
Actually, if you don't mind, I will roll for Predictive Instinct.
Okay. Yeah. Since you haven't rolled for anything yet, yes. Okay. 18.
It's only an 18.
Okay.
And they have to be at 33.
Yeah, nothing. I mean, first of all, the original's unconscious, so he's not beating that. And also, the second roll that I got, no. I say second roll. The second one that could roll, no. No, he didn't.
Do I roll
get
damage or?
Yeah, roll damage.
Okay.
And then turns.
Plus. Sorry, this takes so long. So 64.
As he gets showered and hit by 64 points of damage, he sort of takes a knee for a second as he sort of like gets back up slowly as it's now his turn. He rushes towards you with a sword attack, which, what would you like to do against him?
Oh, can you guess?
I'm gonna take a stab in the dark and say you're gonna stab him in the dark.
Yeah, with Phantom Blade.
Okay.
I assume he beats an 18.
The roll I got, yeah,
Yeah. Okay,
beats
so I
beats
get
your
5.
predictive will. But you still get advantage on this.
Yeah. Is it on both of them?
It's on. I guess so. Yeah, it'd be on both of them. Yeah, so it's 2d20s on the first one, 2d20s on the second
So
one.
I got a 29 on the blades.
Okay, so that's both swords. Yeah.
Yeah. And then I got not 30. Yeah, so 29 is my highest.
Yep. Without a doubt.
Oh, okay.
You got a 20. Beat your predictive instinct so small. It's like, aha, I'm slightly faster than you predicted.
135.
Yeah, you cut through him and straight up, like, as it... I mean, I'll roll just to see. But I don't think that actually does his...
You have the power to fudge.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, straight up, like, as you cut through him, it does cause like very small cuts on him. Because his body seems to be very, like, durable and resistant. But as he goes, like, no! As he then just turns to mush, and then ash, and then nothing, as even the weapon that he's holding in his hand just disappears. As you land back to the ground after you've cut past him, and there's no other contenders in the arena except from the unconscious guy, as Pinky then announces that Anarche is the winner for a second time in a row! As, again, they are removed from the location, reset, revitalized, and now you have one action.
How much damage did I take?
In sum total, you have taken 25.
Alright, I'm gonna ask this. If I rolled Predictive Instinct now, and then I get a lesser move speed than my enemy, will that count as like for that rotation?
Oh, what are you asking? Like, could you roll an advantage on move speed?
No. As in, like, I roll it now, and then say I lose to the move speed roll. If he attacks me, and he beats it, would I get advantage, or would it just?
Yeah. It would last until it comes back round to your turn. If you win,
then it's over.
Then, I'd still argue even if you win, it would go until the next of your actual turn, so...
Okay.
You can
then
activate it now. Okay. So you activate it.
17.
He gets up and actually then walks into the arena after you've activated it. He begins walking over to you as then it's claimed that this individual is Atlas. Long white hair, looks quite like well toned, but he's just as tall as the last guy, but he's nowhere near as big and bulky. But his muscles do look quite toned and defined. He's in basically like a toga, like a very ancient Greek attire, as he walks up to you, as he's sort of like, basically he's with open arms, like accepting the praise from all of the all of the spectators, as he's just like, basically he's lapping up all of this attention, as he finally walks in front of you, takes a stand, and is still like waving to the crowds and everything, and without even looking at you, he goes, "I hope you put on a good show, better than Felix did. My other teammates were fools."
Considering your teammates were complete disappointment.
That's entirely fair. To be honest, Jean Otane is incredibly powerful, but against a willpower user stronger than himself, I'm afraid he's got much to be desired. I, on the other hand, am a master of the Titan Ken, so I hope that you will indeed indulge me. If you do defeat me, though, I wouldn't expect anything less from the Fury Fist. So please, I hope that we have a good battle.
As long as you aren't a disappointment too.
I hope not. And roll move speed.
Why do I keep putting D30? 21.
Yeah, you definitely beat me.
Oh, cool. So, same thing.
Okay.
Uh, 22.
26.
No, fair enough.
But that's your turn, isn't it?
Yep.
So that's not enough for him to stop your attack. It's enough for him to still hit you back.
Okay.
And I'll just throw this out there. He didn't get a better willpower roll than you, so...
Oh. 121.
Okay.
He still halves my halving, does.
He does, yeah. So you're only taking off a quarter. So I'll roll the thing, take off the 8, and then. Okay, so. Okay. Flat 50.
Oh.
Okay, that's not too bad. I mean, it's not great, but 50, and then obviously, so that's 42. And then you take 31 points of damage from this guy.
Ooh.
So that puts you up to 56 damage in total.
He's scuffing a bit.
He's scuffing. But you did, what, 121?
Yep.
Okay. Now, would this surprise you, Kane, if I said that that breaks his vitality?
Kinda. Yeah.
The only other question
Actually,
is...
then again, no. Now I think about it, no, actually.
The only other question is, would it also surprise you to find out that it's just under double?
No.
As you hit him, and it does not leave an injury, but it definitely tears his toga. As he sort of like reels back for a second. As he hits you, and you sort of like stagger, but you know that your willpower resisted a lot of it, but his willpower should have been weaker than yours. Yet for some reason it felt like your willpower resistance was nowhere near as effective as it should have been. You cut me. Although shallow enough for it not to actually bleed. Well, it still stings. You're quite impressive, Anarche.
You can certainly hit harder than your teammates. Oh, well, apart from the Quake dude.
Well, how about this? He then reels over to his back, and he grabs something that at first looks like as if there's nothing there, and it then appears as a gigantic hammer, as he then brings it up and then over into both of his hands. This is a wheel.
Cool.
This is the weapon wielded by a legendary warrior known as Smoosh. As ridiculous as that name was, his weapon was indeed one of the legendary weapons that was used in the War of the Legends. So now I shall use it against you. Well done, Anarche. You have proven yourself worthy of death.
Did that a while ago.
As he again sort of like goes back into the same stance. Titanken! And again, his willpower is infused, but it looks really, really pitiful. Like, almost like as if he either, like, didn't use it, wasn't timing it right, or he's actually completely bluffing about him being a master of it. As he then goes towards you to attack you with this weapon.
I assume he beats an 18.
Yes, he beats an 18, yeah.
You don't sound very sure about that.
Barely. I got a 23, so barely.
Well. Well, I already got 25, but I need to roll the energy. Yeah, I got 25 twice.
Okay.
So I guess he hits me.
Yeah, but you also hit him.
Yeah.
Oh, actually,
112.
yeah, 112. Okay. I now have to have a look at this. Jeez, okay. As this hammer hits you, like, as he just sort of, like, leans over, it's like, you sort of, like, do sort of, like, an X cut on him, as he, like, bonks you full on, like, with the weight of this hammer. As it does so, it suddenly feels this massive additional impact that hits you, as you are hit for 80 points of damage. But, again, your willpower is resisting at least some of this. So, that goes down to 75. No, sorry, 72. And then...
It'd be 71, wasn't it? Yeah, if it was 80.
72, because your willpower resistance is 8.
Oh, yeah, no, fair enough.
Instead, you take 54 points of damage.
Ow.
As this weapon seems to deal a great deal of impact damage to you.
He's still standing.
And he is, well, We'll get to that in a second. So you're on... Okay. Oh, okay. So you're up to 110 points of damage, but that did not break your vitality. Now, we come back over to him. 112, yeah?
Yep.
As you sort of like get hit by that attack, the hammer is lifted up almost immediately after the impact, and you sort of like see him like with the weapon in like his head is slightly tilted down, and the weapon is like held high up above you. As you sort of like look at him, the cut that you hit him with, it was impressive. In fact, it's actually cut him open. As blood is trickling out of him, but very slowly. It doesn't seem to be that deep, despite the fact that this should straight up like cleave any normal individual in half. His durability is admirable, especially for one whose willpower was not resisting any of your attacks.
Hello?
Hello.
No, I was asking the character.
Ah, okay. As he just sort of like still holding up the hammer, his head then tilts up, and his eyes have already rolled into the back of his head as he falls to his back, and the hammer, as soon as it touches the ground, just destroys a huge portion of the arena behind him. As the dust clears, Pinky goes, "Unbelievable! Anake has defeated all three of the contenders! The Kings of the Hill remain!" As everyone just goes mental, cheering and just going absolutely ballistic. During this time, any of those who are in the party who are still on the island, you hear this announcement. If you've been watching the fights, or even not watching the fights and you've been on in your own place, this announcement is spread all over the entirety of the island. Anake has defeated 3 opponents consecutively. And now, here comes the more difficult part. We come back to the rest of the party. Aldous, you're meeting back up with with the rest of the party members. Felix, you've sort of like done any of your preparations and you've met back up in Anake's garden. Aldous, you've gone into Anake's garden after whatever you've been doing. Gunhead, you're still in Anake's garden with his brothers. And Stan, I think you stayed last session, didn't you, with them?
Wait. Did I stay or did I wander off? Wait.
You might have wandered off to grab something, I can't remember.
In the shed, you know.
You eventually, after hearing that, you do come back, though. As the rest of the party is now in Anake's garden. As you guys are going to be sort of talking amongst yourselves, I'm now going to just quickly sort out the points. And for that, Anake, I need you to roll me a D4 3 separate times.
Please tell me you get 4 seconds. Good for you, but...
A 2 and a 2 and a 1.
Okay.
Not great, but you know, I guess.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, so as you guys are chatting, I'll sort this out real quick. This is gonna, well, I say real quick, this is gonna take a little while, so you guys have a chat. As you've now all met up, except for Anake.
Are we ready going to war? Is that...
As much as I don't want to, it does look like that's going to happen.
Now, I should probably take a sample of everyone's DNA.
For what reason again?
Just so you're protected.
That sounds very sketchy, but I guess...
I trust a fellow player, but like insight.
Yeah, you're gonna need an insight check. Roll insight.
Yeah, I mean it's a D20 -1, so it won't be great. Well, 15.
I guess Bill, roll either persuasion or deceit, unless if you're actually going to tell him.
Just check my... Yeah, I'll just roll persuasion.
Okay.
It's a meat speaks, but it's the same. So how does this work?
That is a good question.
I guess roll again.
Okay, so we both roll again, or?
Well, actually, hang on a sec. Are you trying to deceive him or inform him?
It's persuasion, but I'm trying to... I don't want to tell him. I'm telling him what he needs to know.
You're doing a Dracula. You're going, give me your blood.
Okay, I would say in that case, yeah, you both have to roll again.
Two.
Two berries. Natural 20. Oh, okay. The two best numbers in this campaign.
Felix is now very enthusiastic about giving you his blood.
I don't know. You know what? It's nice to be needed.
A modified 2 berries.
Okay.
You know, if it'll help us win, it extends arm. Who am I to say no to a little blood donation?
Well, if the massive powerhouse that is Felix is going along with it, I guess I will.
To be fair, Felix has given his blood away to pretty much random strangers.
That is fair.
That is true.
I mean,
I'm
it
just gonna,
can't
like,
be as bad as
Pop off a few of
Cleveland.
my, kind of, I guess out of my arm will come a few syringes, little needles, and I'll just steal people's blood from me.
Do I need to make like a con roll or anything?
I'll just, yeah, I've got a few syringes.
I don't know how Felix is with needles.
I think we said that he was okay with it, actually.
Yeah.
How is Felix with vivisection?
I don't know what that is offhand, so.
Oh, that's... You know surgery? You know
Right.
what they do? You know what they do to corpses to determine how they die?
Isn't that autopsy?
Yeah,
it's
essentially
not.
they do that, but to vivisection is when they do it to things that are alive.
Okay.
Figure out
like
how they
mutilation.
die.
Real quick.
I'm confused.
Real quick, I've just got an RK. I've got your point total here. It's actually, it's great, but it's also annoying, and you'll see what I mean in a second.
Do you want to send it to me personally?
I'm going to send it to you privately. Yeah.
Oh.
Because you're just under a billion.
Oh, wow.
Is it above? Is
I'll
it above
do-
the
I'll
9,999,999 billion thing?
Mm-mm.
Wait, that's your total. No, that's what I just got.
Oh.
No, that is your total.
Oh, that's my total.
Yeah.
Oh, that's
That's what I mean. It's so annoying because it's
Oh.
it's great, but it is annoying.
It's so it'll be like 99998. Like 1 point.
Anyway, so yeah, you give Felix enough information where Felix is okay with this. By the way, just a real quick question. I'm assuming that you've said this to all of your party members?
Everyone there, yeah.
Yeah. Does anyone else question this, or is everyone else fine with it, since Felix is fine with it?
Can I roll insight
Yeah.
just out of curiosity for like why is he doing this?
I mean, he's only given you the bare minimum, so I guess you could insight to see if there's any devious purpose in it. But I will say, it doesn't seem that way.
Does he sound like he has a stone on him?
What does that
What does that even? Oh shit! Yeah, sorry, I forgot that you have the.
You keep forgetting.
I
You
keep
forgetting my
forgetting
main
your
thing.
power is that you can hear like animite and power stones.
How
Sorry.
stoned is he?
I thought you meant like I said like in the way that he talks. So it's like
No.
Does he have
No,
gravel
I-
in his throat?
it. You know what? I can do you one better. It almost sounds like At first, it's quite difficult. I want you to roll me a perception or insight, and I'm gonna
Thank
say
God I've got a plus
I'm-
4 to perception.
I'm gonna say you can roll it with advantage if it's insight.
Oh, you bastard. Fine insight. 16.
Okay, that's fine. You've never noticed this before, but Stan almost radiates this tiny little harmonic resonance. It's actually really easy not to notice, but in the calm and the quiet, hums within his blood some kind of weird resonance of that of a double stone almost.
Hmm. Ah. So wait, so he is a double stone?
No, it's more like there's double stone flowing through his blood.
Huh.
Without further inspection or knowledge, that's all I can tell you.
If I give you my blood, can I have some of your blood? In exchange?
Well, Stan?
What do you need it for?
What did he say?
What do you need it for?
What do you need it for?
Oh. See, I'm assuming the same reason you need mine.
No, it's definitely not the same reason.
Well, why do you need my blood?
It's a precaution to protect.
Clearly, it's for nutrition.
Felix completely misunderstanding, but is still completely able to allow this.
I'm just going ahead with it. I've been stuck with so many needles at this point, I don't care.
Fair enough. I'll say you get both of their blood without any issues.
Yeah.
Now the only question is Aldous and Stan, this Wild West questioning.
And technically, Inake when he gets there.
What kind of precaution can I ask?
Well, I'm doing some experiments, and I might need to protect you from a future weapon.
Future weapon?
Well, I can't leak too much information. If it gets out, then perhaps I might be stopped.
I'm assuming it's some kind of... Considering you're taking our blood,
That sounds so fucking ominous.
I'm assuming it's a bioweapon.
If I informed you, then you'd try and stop me, and then I couldn't allow that. I know that's not what you said, but it does sound very, very
I mean,
similar.
it does sound very much like you're taking our blood to make a bioweapon.
How many clones do you have in a test tube under the island? You know.
All of you to assume that there's anything under the island other than clone.
Bold of you to assume that the clone is. Bold of you to assume that the island isn't just made of clones.
Bold of you to assume this isn't the clone.
Can't wait for us. You know, the tourney. We finally have to fight each other, and Stan just pulls out like a clone party.
I don't think you understood, guys. When I said that I needed you for protection, I never said your protection. Anyway, back to the cannon land.
I'm assuming this is some kind of bioweapon you're talking about. Why would we be attacked by that?
It will be mostly indiscriminate.
Where is this happening?
Roll me an intelligence, Aldous.
Aldous. I mean, he doesn't have great that.
Surprise
wait.
us.
Okay. Okay.
Blueberries.
You have no idea what he's trying to come up with. It's a little odd and ominous.
Obviously, Land of the Sunken Moon territory. They're all about dishonoring bioweapons.
Yeah,
Okay,
well, this isn't in Belton.
No.
No wrinkles.
It's just smooth brain up there. Entirely smooth. Perfect for vibrations such as animite. Okay, I guess. Can I have some of yours?
What for?
For precautions?
Again, it's for the same reason as Stan. A bioweapon. Come on, get you.
Exactly.
I mean, they're not technically wrong. I mean,
Yeah.
Power
I would
stones
become
technically are bioweapons now that I think about
Yes.
it.
It would make me the bioweapon.
That's true.
Oh, then we have nothing to fear.
Exactly, because I'm not good at fighting.
Sam, you're technically correct. The best and worst kind of correct.
Exactly.
I don't know, roll persuasion. Persuade me.
Can I roll diplomacy so we can come to an agreement, a compromise? The agreement being we both share
I
blood.
don't need your blood, I'm just pointing that out. I'm doing this for your own good.
Oh, okay. Yeah, in that case, it would definitely be a persuasion rather than a diplomacy. Because I was actually about to side with you there, Sam. Like, I was completely on board with team diplomacy until he just pulled out that, technically, I don't care whether or not you have it or not. It's...
Well, be that way then. 17.
I guess roll against that, Bill. Unless if you think that that's a good enough roll.
That's a good enough roll.
I mean, it comes to 20 altogether.
Okay, yeah. I'm just gonna make like a little finger gun. Yeah. I'm gonna shoot the blood at you now.
I will make a spatial container to hold it in.
So a bucket?
No, not a bucket. Probably, like a beaker.
Space bucket.
I'm just going to remind you that space can't be used reactively.
Okay, I'll use biology to hold it in place.
There we go. Okay.
Fine, be that way,
There
Joe.
we go.
There we go. It's just like you remember Magneto in the Magneto in like the second X-Men movie where he's got the balls flying around him, like orbiting him.
Yeah.
That's essentially what this blood is now. It's just like a circle around me.
I want to point out, Bill, you didn't even need to roll for that because it's so obvious that you can get the roll.
Fair enough.
Drip.
Okay, and I will give him my own blood, I guess.
Fair enough. After the exchanges of blood, and not in that way, you eventually hear about the situation. Anarche, you finally get to your house, and you notice that there are your three brothers sitting on deck chairs outside, sitting around a fire that is clearly like they've brought a fire pit, and they're eating, drinking, and smoking whilst they're waiting outside. As the rest of your party are there, as it seems as though they're trading bodily fluids. Again, not that way.
Regrettably, not that.
I mean, this
way.
way's probably worse, to be fair.
I think, yeah, to be fair, yeah.
We're all pissing in your garden. What do you do?
You're right. Why does this have to be in my garden?
Anarche! A mile away just gets up. So, your friends tell us that you had to fight 3 people on your own. And of course...
Because apparently the slackers. What's going on, guys? Hang on. What's with this today?
I mean, you can't really come at me with that since I defeated that Phoenix dude.
You get clear, Felix. You get no excuse. Come on.
Look, I was not mentally stable, okay?
I mean, the guy is kind of
Alright,
going through something.
Yeah. No, understandable.
However, if you really want to point fingers at someone, Or I guess you could say point guns at someone. It would be your new recruit, and also, what's with the priest?
Hello. Would you like to hear the wonderful words of Animate?
No.
3-hour-long tangent later.
Anyway.
Wasn't there a deal made that it can't be talked about in front of Anake outside of the church?
No, I can't do it to Anake, but I can do it to people around him.
Yeah.
Loophole.
He might add a clause, do not talk to my family about Animite.
No, I'm just gonna burn don't talk about Animite around my house into my wall.
With the lights.
And you're going to do it in Animite just so it's like super loud for me.
No, because then people would come to my house asking about religion.
By the way, do you actually just burn that
Yes.
into your wall? Roll SP.
No.
You burned your house down.
No, my house is invincible. I don't need to worry about that.
And it'll easily be repaired by the Dantes.
25.
You shoot into the walls with like the laser beam, and you sort of like draw in the lasers that particular phrase. Don't talk about Animite in front of my or around my house. As you do so, you turn back and you're sort of like going, what the hell, guys? Everyone else roll me a perception check, other than Anarcho.
House comes alive. The Dantes are back.
Part of me is so wanting just to use my chemistry to remove the don't.
No, Joe, this is a stupid question, but is this technically a city?
No, it's not technically a city.
Okay.
You know what? I applaud you for trying, and I would give you an
As far as
advantage.
be aware, the only things that are on my island are my house, Pinky's house, an amusement park, Stan's shop, another shop, and
It's
like a city.
It's a town at best.
yeah.
Don't forget the church.
There also are a couple of building complexes where people can actually stay in the terms of accommodation for the fighters and stuff.
That can be a city.
It's a town.
Dream big, Anake. Make a city. Declare it a city.
All of you, except from Aldous, are completely fucking blind.
Declare it a city so I can have slightly better eyesight.
You know what? I'll say Ferb, you're the only other person who can see this because it's actually a little. Actually, no. You know what, Ferb? You look up, you see it. You look back at Anarche, and then you look up, and for some reason, the entire things that were burned into there are gone. The wall is perfect, pristine, as if it never happened. None of the others really pay much attention to this. They don't really bother.
So anyway,
I just assume I'm soft at some.
However,
Let's move
Aldous, you knew exactly what happened. Or at least you saw exactly what happened. After Anarche turned round, there seemed to sort of, the walls, or at least the burns, began to almost like produce this weird sort of secretion. Until eventually the secretion went over all of the words, like almost this weird purple goo. And then after that, it eventually faded away until the entire wall was back to the way that it once was.
Can I ask, because in case I forgot, is this house alive?
You can't tell if it's alive.
I mean, can't I, Joe, with biological manipulation?
Oh, okay. No, it's definitely not alive.
Can I hear Animite coursing through it?
No, or at least not the normal amount. Or at least say for instance, it's not. It is, but through the same means as your church is infused with it. So for instance, the island has veins throughout it that are infused with Animon energy because of the core inside of the island. So it's no different than any other building. So you're not entirely sure why that is.
Well, I will just accept this. I mean, when you're with Anaka, you accept anything.
Fair enough.
Okay.
right. So are you dealing bodily substances outside my house?
I mean, to be fair, they started that.
Right. Why my garden though?
Well, to be fair, we don't actually have a place as nice as this. The accommodation is terrible, and I can't believe you didn't invite us to your own home. So, we invited ourselves.
First of all, you knew you were
Why
coming
not the garden?
so don't start that shit. Second of all you have to do is ask Stan to build your house. It's really not that difficult.
I can build houses now as well.
We didn't
No,
know that he
listen.
could build them.
Alright, to answer the question, Stan asked for our blood, for whatever fucking reason.
And you just said yes.
And we said yes.
Have
Because
you
we
done this
trust.
before?
Look, I trust my party members. We've made it this far. I don't see why I shouldn't.
Akashi,
Why do you have to be so reasonable, like, all of a sudden?
Akashi just sort of goes up to you and pats you on the shoulder, and Arke goes, "Ah, you've got friends."
Wow. I guess I got more than me then.
Well, technically, I'm an employee.
He looks at you as you look at him, and it's like, I would hit you so hard if it weren't for the fact that was such a good, quick retort.
Oh yeah, and also technically, yeah, he kind of just works for us.
Either way, he's not the one asking for my blood. And outside of that, we've also been given information by gestures to Anake's siblings, because I, for the life of me, can't remember their names.
Fair enough. You could just say, your bros. Yeah, go
I
on.
also didn't want to assume their genders.
They're all male brothers, don't worry.
Okay, well, Felix doesn't know that. He hasn't asked. And he doesn't want to assume.
They have, all three of them have said at some point, "Oh, I'm Anake's brother," or "We are Anake's brothers." So it's all good.
Hey, we
You're
don't
right.
know about different dimensional terminology. Brothers can be
yeah.
literally anything.
True.
Either way, they have given me a list of potential magical weaponry. I say magical weaponry for us to possibly collect to help in our chances of the tournament. Not that we need them, but they could be helpful.
Technically, I said the war, not the tournament.
That, if we get the Miracle Stone, we could probably just end the war.
Oh, please.
Well...
Would you really want to waste a wish on that?
Yeah, also, the only issue is if your family is proper gone, the only way we're probably getting them back is through that, so...
I know. Trust me, I know.
Well, that sounds interesting. Good for you guys. I'm glad you got some activities to do, I just don't really feel like it today,
That's fair. You just went through 3 different fights.
Well, to be fair, only one of them was actually something. 2 of them were gigantic disappointments.
Congratulations on your win, man.
Oh, yeah, I guess so.
I've heard about your guys who are your contenders for tomorrow. I mean, they're a bit gaudy in the terms of the way that they've named themselves, but sounds pretty interesting nonetheless.
To be honest, it would have been somewhat easier to lose, but...
Anaka, do you mind sharing how many points you have? So we know how close we are to our goal.
No, yeah, sure. I showed the band.
Would you like to send it or say it out loud?
I'll send it so that everyone can see it and I don't mispronounce numbers.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'll put it in dice rolls so that other people can see.
So that the people at home watching there.
That's a big number.
So for those of you who can't see it, if you're just listening in, that's 995,644,310. Just for again reminders, you need 999, 999, and 999. In other words,
Joe, it's just, what would be hilarious is we go to the next day, Anake starts the fight, he loses a battle, and then loses literally all but one of his points.
that would be horrifying, but it would be hilarious.
No, the horrifying thing was we would be like, I'd probably lose the tournament because someone else would have got all of his points. It would probably be the winner.
Well, as long as you beat that person, you're basically guaranteed max points. So.
Right.
Yeah, that's true. So now...
everyone would be coming for that person.
You're close to being target number 1 in the world with those points.
I already am, though.
So...
Everyone wants a piece of that ass.
Yeah, I can't blame them.
What exactly are you going to do about this then? Considering that you're wanting to be a part of this war, we just gave your friends a potential ticket that might help
already
you.
said I want to be a part of it, but
You're the one who started it.
nah, they started it. Either way, I have other things to do. If this war is going to happen. So, you guys have fun with your treasure hunt or whatever. I can't think I'm really too interested.
So, what exactly are you going to do then?
Speak to people.
Such as?
You know, more of my friends.
The number keeps increasing.
Yep, like your depression. So, I'm gonna go now.
Oh, boss. Take one of my homebrew beers as a, consolation prize for winning.
I don't drink.
Oh, fair enough.
Wait,
I appreciate the,
Aren't you at least going to help your friends get around? I mean, considering that you do have transport.
So do you...
Not to the same extent you do, Sentinel.
Alright, where you going?
Felix starts listing off the places.
Alright, one at a time, please.
The first place that you list off is actually a location known as Glandrine, as apparently that is where Sezu is, the individual who wields the Zeus's bolt. The other one in question is the Oblivion Blade, which is then apparently located in Eden somewhere. After that is the Ring of the Forgotten, which is apparently listed in none other than Iris City. The Grandfather Greatsword, which is apparently placed in Collegium. And the final object is known as the the Knuckles of Havoc, supposedly on the Nostris mountain range.
Well, I'm taking you to, like, 3 of those places.
One particular thing when you're sort of like hearing this, you do remember that you saw a woman on the Nostris mountain range, and you did a mental note of trying to speak to her at some point, but never did.
Is that curiosity more important?
It's up to you.
Well, where do you guys want to go, considering you guys are the ones doing this?
Well, I wasn't initially sure if other people wanted to go. I was going to start with the gauntlets, but that's for obvious reasons.
Yeah. Anyone else care?
Not particularly. I'm not really that intrigued in these artifacts, so I just stay with the team while I'm doing some research.
I shall be any way I can.
You just point me in the direction and I'll follow orders.
So it sounds like nobody actually has a plan except from Felix, so I guess he'll be team leader for the time being.
Oh, congratulations.
I'd be more excited if it came with a raise, but
Well,
Actually-
I haven't made you pay rent yet, so consider that.
When he says that, can I attempt to make a giant thing of gold right in front of him?
Why?
Because he said he wanted a raise.
I mean, he was joking, but
I know, that's...
I mean,
Also, please ignore the dogs running around above me if they're picking up in the mic at all.
they are, but that's okay.
That's awesome.
As known as Easter, this is being recorded on Easter. I'm going to date this video. And one of the dogs loves playing with the plastic Easter eggs. It's their favorite thing.
Aw.
Adorable.
Yeah, so they're running around above me.
Yes, you do create some like gold, but it's like a large sort of like ingot. However, it is not up to the maximum size. It's sort of like, basically it's the size of like the length of a normal individual's arm, like from wrist to elbow. That's about it.
There you go.
Thank you. Felix will stick the ingot of gold in his pocket.
It sticks out of your pocket.
Shiny.
And actually, you start hearing some like ripping noises coming from your trousers.
Gold is very heavy.
Mm-hmm.
Weird. It's very dense.
You would think with kind of like the Hulk kind of thing, you think Felix would have very reinforced pants.
Well, we never.
Congratulations on your raise. Aldous will be paying you weekly from now on, so go to him.
Is this where my taxes come in now? You haven't asked for it yet.
So, well, yeah, where are these gauntlets again?
I believe those were the ones in the mountains, right?
Yes, yeah.
Yeah.
Alright, well, I'll send you there. You guys can have fun. I'm gonna go and do other things.
Fair enough. We'll message you if we need a quick way out.
Oh, yeah, that's a good point. I'm gonna pull out Big Swartle from my pocket dimension.
You remove the large great sword from your pocket dimension.
You should probably take this, it'll mean I'll be able to get to you immediately.
Alright. Take the sword, puts it in his other pocket.
You can place it on your back, as it does come with like a sort of a little thing.
A hilt.
It's also a great sword. I don't think you really want to be putting that in your pocket.
Don't underestimate what he
I
has in
already
his
know you
pockets.
have one in your pocket, but that's.
Hey yo!
Just imagine like a giant sword just coming out of this side pocket. It's just an inch of the handles inside of it.
I mean, we always knew we call him Big Daddy, but now we know why.
Yeah, because he's very tall. Moving on.
Yeah. I don't think, actually, for like the without his buffed up form, I think he's actually kind of short.
Oh yeah, I think he's like, is he 5'7" or something?
He's 5 something. I don't remember because you don't have character appearance stuff in your sheet.
You can write it yourself. Anyway, moving on. Anarche obviously opens up the portal to take you to the mountains.
Yeah, I just opened it to like the top where I got to.
Fair enough. You open that up. You guys step through. Does anyone go with Anarche? Or does everyone go with Felix to find these items?
I would probably go in last because I'm going to add the blood to one of my stones.
To one of your one of your. Is that your piece of animite?
I mean, I might add to my thingy stone because I only need to get a 23, I think.
How many power stones do you have in there?
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8.
So 10, 15, 20... Sorry, no,
remember...
10, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22... So yeah, it would be 23. Yeah, sure.
And can I use my advantage for the day?
Yes.
Because I don't... Oh, come on!
Together.
It doesn't work, but it doesn't destroy the stones. Again, you use a natural one.
Can I just use my natural 20?
No, you already used your natural 20 for today, remember?
Oh yeah. Well, I'll just keep the blood flowing around. I'll just keep the blood around me in a big arc.
I mean, you could put it on something.
Let him do his thing, Joe.
Okay.
There you I'll put it into my other chunk of animite.
Okay, roll for it. As you go to sort of do it, you sort of try and place it onto the blood, and you sort of mess up as the blood just goes onto the floor. As you try to infuse it into the stone, it sort of just doesn't work, as it sort of like it actually repels the blood as it just sort of goes onto the floor. As you sort of just got a very impatient Anarche waiting for you to go through the portal.
And now you're throwing blood on my garden. Come on now.
So is the blood now forever gone?
I mean, it's pretty damn useless. And again, you're sort of just standing there as Anarche still holding the portal open for you.
Yeah, I'll go through the portal now. Oh well, worth the punt.
Ferb will turn to Anarche. Do you want me to go with them, boss?
mean, it's down to you. What would you prefer to do? Hiking or, I don't know, going somewhere else?
Well, I don't really care either way, so I'll stick around with you.
No. I'll close the pool.
Fair enough. The rest of you guys head off as you go through the portal. You now are entering a incredibly, horribly snow-filled land as your feet touch this snow. I would like all of you to roll me a survival.
Okay.
7.
Oh dear.
Well, you know,
Could
it's
we-
fine.
Could we hit? Well, I guess no. It wouldn't make sense for Felix to be bulked up.
No.
So it's just 15.
That's okay. And then Bill,
That's
okay.
Because it was stated Felix did preparations.
Yeah, you did preparations. You've got all of your stockpiles filled and everything. You've got your gauntlets with you, and you've obviously gotten dressed, but I want to point out, you didn't know what you'd be dealing with, so you're not exactly... You haven't actually purchased any winter clothing.
Don't worry, guys.
Ah, bollocks, I forgot about this.
I am the winter clothing.
That's why I said, don't worry, we're fine.
You, however, Aldous will be taking some damage.
Okay. No, that's fine.
On a rough day there, huh?
I mean, it's nothing he probably can't reverse.
I've immediately succumbed to the elements. Just,
Just dies.
I mean, he is old.
No, I'm not, like 40.
That's old.
Yeah.
I mean,
old,
yeah,
nice
old, but
knowing
not
you.
that old. Like, considering like Anake's what, 14 over there?
He's 19.
Might
you
be.
You know what I mean. He's
you
practically a child.
What?
You take 11 points of damage.
Okay.
The
Can
arthritis and your bones just freeze.
I make flames around me, but not actually touching me, but like around me to warm me up, but not hurting anybody? But...
That's a lot to ask. Roll.
Okay, so not touching me at a safe distance that doesn't hurt anybody, but just warms me up.
Hmm.
A lot
Damn, my
to ask.
luck is
Ring of
Holy
fire.
cow, your rolls are awful. You try it, and you're like, I'll do. Snaps fingers, nothing happens. You're just so cold you can't focus.
I do succumb to the elements.
The ice in his bones.
Anyway,
Climb instead of his
Stan,
fingers.
what would you like to do, since you were the one who said, don't worry, guys?
I don't know, this is much more entertaining. I'm just going to turn my mystery clothing into a coat. Because I can.
Okay.
I can do that. I'm going to ask if anyone has any animite they would like to give me. I do have some, but I left it back at the shed. So.
Oh.
I've got like multiple chunks, but I've only got one chunk with me.
Okay.
That isn't in the armor. I don't really want to use it.
So the question is, does anyone have a chunk of animite?
Felix definitely doesn't. I don't think he's ever held animite.
I don't think you have, no. Well, Mr. believes in animite, do you have a chunk?
I mean, yeah, but I'm, you know me, I'm not much for giving it up. Animite's a very sacred thing.
Well, it will be. It's for a gift for yourself.
A gift for myself. Can I roll to see just how desperate he is for clothing?
I want to point it out this way. If you go any longer with any more terrible rolls like that, you will succumb to frostbite and potentially begin freezing to death.
Well, can I still roll to see how willing I am?
You know how desperate you are. You can roll a willpower to see if you want to give it up. which would be a disadvantage.
Okay.
What's a 10? Okay, so it's a 10. This is a choice of your own, whether or not you think that your character can find it in his heart to give up his only chunk of animite for something so selfish, or if he sees the direness of his own situation.
I don't think he'd see the direness yet. It's literally been 2 minutes.
This is how Aldous goes. He freezes to death.
Okay.
It's a classic Sam moment.
Well, fights
old
against
man
gods,
freezes.
dies till winter.
Can
As-
I create winter clothing?
No, as you begin moving forward, because you guys have been doing this for a while now, as you begin moving forward, nearly shivering to death over there with Aldous, and Aldous still trying to use his powers, but still not really working. You eventually realise that like you actually don't know where you're really going. All of you roll me a perception with disadvantage, and before you ask, this is not a city.
Are you sure? Yo,
Mountain City.
Are we looking for life?
You know, if I was smart, I would have sent you to the town where you can just walk when you...
Are we looking for life forms?
We don't
Is
need
that
that.
what we're looking for?
You're looking around.
Sorry, Kate.
Okay.
I'm gonna.
Perception?
Yes, disadvantage.
Come on. 20? Oh, no, 10.
10.
Can I activate my stand devil stun?
I mean, you can. My only question as to why.
It gives me super perception.
Oh yeah, of course.
What? I still roll disadvantage. Or...
No. If you got super perception, you would roll normal.
I'm on speed, boys. It's still not great.
11. You do just as well as a man who's got glasses. All of you do relatively just as well as each other. You're looking around and you can't really tell really where you're going until you sort of notice, like, just off in the distance, a little, like, maybe about 40, 50 meters up, there seems to be, like, sort of a house. And it seems to be away from the storm, like, of the tundra. It seems to be like, if you could get up that sort of incline, you might be able to get away from all of the snow. Because, again, it's coming down on you quite hard. So, in fact, some of it's actually resting on you now.
How far away is it, did you say?
50 meters.
Well, it's a good thing I can just make portals now.
Yeah. I like how you say now. You've been able to for, like, ages.
Yeah, but look, I can make... So, essentially, it's going to make a portal right up to the door.
Roll SP.
Come on. Yes!
Disadvantage.
Oh, come on. Come on, Joe.
You are freezing to death, sir. Yes!
Yes! Finally!
Pull that one.
Bam! You
Am I double
are,
that 1 to my double that 20, baby?
you are doubling down on that power. As soon as you just sort of like, you go, I see a house! Portal immediately in front of all three of them as you just run through it.
Come on.
The rest of you guys follow as you get right in front of the door. You notice immediately, as soon as you step through that portal, there's no more snow falling on your heads.
That house looks kind of suspicious.
I mean, I'm going in. I don't care. I'm dying of frostbite. I've got the fever. I'm 5 minutes away from taking off my clothing.
You open
what
the
are
door.
What are you afraid of, Shia LaBeouf?
You open the door, and as soon as you do so, there is a blade to your throat as someone is just like just at you. It's like, who the hell are you?
Sorry, I was dying out there.
What are you doing here? Ain't no folks come up here.
What are we looking for here again? Can I ask?
The gauntlets.
Oh.
Let me pull up the name again, because
Havoc gauntlets of the gauntlets of Havoc.
Yeah.
Oh, we're looking for some kind of gauntlets, I think.
Hell,
Chav
I don't
or
care what
something.
I don't care what you're looking for. You ain't gonna find not much here, and you are on my property, barging into my house like as if you don't know what. So I think,
I'm
boy...
sorry. It's something I could do in exchange for just allow me to warm up. Now
What do you want? What the hell are you talking about, boy? I ain't into that.
No. I am a child of Adamite. I have many abilities I can help you with.
Oh, good. You're a priest. I thought I got away from most of you.
Can't get away from those Mormons, you know.
Those damn Jehovah Witnesses. Those damn Anamite witnesses.
Can I ask? Can I look around the place to see if there's anything broken or like his clothing? Does it look like it's torn or old?
I mean, a lot of the stuff around in this hut looks old, but you will notice that there are 2 beds. Like this is a whole giant like hut, like a log cabin hut. There's a big fire and a chimney. There's loads of logs, despite the fact that you can't really tell. Like you couldn't see any trees, and this guy is quite gruff. He looks like he's in like his sort of 50s, 60s. But the weapon that he's sort of drawn at you looks like a large sort of machete. Again, it's right at your throat. He has a few things in the background. Most things are worn, but they're not destroyed or damaged. They're just they're worn over like time and use.
Does it look like he has abundance of food?
You can't.
Are you about to go? Are you about to go run over to his table, start eating his food?
No. I'm going because I just realized I have 2 powers that I think might allow me to create food out of thin air.
You haven't seen. You can't see any food anywhere. Okay. You see a few plates and a few pans that might have had food in them.
What's the most extravagant food that's in Beta?
I mean,
like, what is the lobster of this era?
I mean, you could just make lobster, but I don't think you can make anything specifically.
Can I not with biology and chemistry together?
Not necessarily those 2, no.
With nature?
Nature doesn't allow you to change the form of a creature per se.
You could just like rip off a limb and then change that into like something that resembles a crustacean.
Yeah, you could make it resemble it, but he'd still be eating human flesh.
Yeah, but it might taste like crustacean. Yes.
No.
You know what? You know what? I'm just gonna make a sword for him. I'm just gonna make it better. I'm gonna make a sword. I'm just gonna make.
It's not threatening at all.
I'm just gonna make a really nice set of jewelry.
Okay, well,
a really nice set of jewelry and give it to him.
As you try that, he immediately runs a sword across your throat. Roll me con.
And he dies of exposure. 5.
Yeah, your throat just opens up as just spills out blood as you go to the ground, holding your own throat, like, just as it's like, I told you, I'm not having any of that weird stuff. What? And he looks on the floor, and it is just like, after like the weird sort of transmutation light has sort of like finished up, there is just like a whole like necklace in your hand covered in gems, and he was just like, he then points the machete at the two of you standing behind the door. No, I told you, I warned him.
No, we saw.
We're okay with that. Personality's dead. This is
I am numb to death at this point.
Everything going okay in there, Aldous?
I mean, you are seeing this, Stan.
I'm just saying it to the floor.
Kick the body, make sure he's dead. Double down.
You stupid idiot.
Now, if this man will allow me to go and tend to the wounds. By wounds, I mean, like, cut in his neck.
You try to go closer, and he points at it. He's like, no, stay back. He starts darting the end of the machete towards you, and then points it towards Stan, and back at you, and back at Stan. He's looking frantic and terrified.
Do you want the corpse to stay on your floor?
Colleague here.
I didn't want any of this. I stayed away from you people for a reason.
Right.
You ain't
Can we?
you ain't gonna go to the pier or the peak, no. You've come for me or the girl.
We have no intention of harming you or anyone on this mountain.
Roll me a persuasion.
Especially after you killed Aldous, we're more grateful than ever.
Thank God. He stopped talking about his bloody religion.
If we're lucky, he'll never speak again.
He then just
Cut
goes,
his vocal cord.
well, why are you here? Why would you come here if you weren't after me or others?
I mean, as stated, we are currently trying to track down some gauntlets called the Havoc Gauntlets to help in stopping a war between Eden and what's Anake's island, I guess?
Jotun jail.
The
Jotun
Cloud District.
Maybe it's just called Anake's Island now.
I mean, at the moment, it hasn't got an official name because
Heretic.
Anake,
You know,
Anake hasn't.
Also, technically, I guess the war is Eden versus Huskonia.
Fighty Island.
Yeah, we've forced them to have a war now.
Well, technically, the war was not confirmed between them, those two anyway. It was more confirmed between Anake and the party. And since that they're residing on Jotunjal, it's kind of more of an obvious thing between those two.
So the land of the sunken moon?
No, it'd just be Jotunjal.
Mm.
He
Either
then
way.
looks at you and just sort of... Well... You really ain't here for... You really ain't here for us?
Gives a nod.
He then sort of like drops the machete down by like Aldous' still currently bleeding out body, and he sort of takes a few steps away as he sort of like holds his head in his hands as he's like sort of freaking out.
Can
Oh,
I
yep.
come? Can I come in and tend to my friend's
Wait.
wounds, or
Can I heal myself?
You can attempt to do so. Again, this would be a disadvantage. You're not in
Okay,
fatal
well.
moments, but you have taken like a serious injury.
Well, it works.
Um,
Yeah, I just had to get a 50. I just had to get 50. This week, just had to knock out a natural one.
should have
And I healed.
Hang
and
on,
I
I'm
healed
ju-
two.
Hang on. I'm just having a
Okay.
look at something.
Okay. He stabs me again to make sure.
He stabs you again.
witchcraft!
No.
Witchcraft!
So, Felix, as you say, can I go tend to my friend? You've already healed up your neck. Roll for the amount of damage you heal yourself for.
Okay. And that is advanced regeneration, so it's 2 ailments as well.
I mean, it doesn't matter. You only have technically 1.
Okay.
I'm still thinking. I don't know if you guys have listened to the musical Book of Mormons, but just the starting song. Hello, my name is Aldous, and I am here to share with you this most amazing rock.
Oh dear, that is adorable. Okay. That has taken you from a 33 to a 29.
Yay.
Your throat really still hurts, like your neck still hurts, but you have sealed up the damage that it's done to your windpipe and to the front parts of your flesh and skin, but it still really frickin' hurts. As he sort of like looks back, he's like, oh, thank God. Look, I'm sorry. It's just we thought that we had escaped. And you saying this, I mean, I don't know what a Jotun jail is, but Eden, yeah. Okay. I've heard of Eden, I've not really ever dealt with them myself. I apologize. We don't need no trouble.
It's all good. Things, sadly, in the state that the world is in, things like these have been happening often.
You're telling
Okay.
me.
It's not the first time someone's tried to kill me. in this adventure.
What? He then notices on under your sleeve, he notices like a strange glow. What's wrong with your arm, boy? As he points over to Felix.
There is currently a tournament of sorts. A lot of the reason the world is in large discourse is due to this tournament. So it's he like rolls up his sleeve to show it.
I mean,
If you've go on.
Tournament it is. Where's your arena, boy? How far did you come?
Well, how far did we go?
I mean, he's more asking in the forms of how far away have you gone from the actual stadium, because he believes that it's just an ordinary tournament. He doesn't realise that it's an actual global thing.
At the moment, it's a almost worldwide thing, but the specific arena I came from is on what was previously known as Jotunjel Island, which I, out of game, don't know the distance for.
Fair.
You can't throw a question like that. I mean, expect an answer.
Yeah, that's fine. I mean, to be fair, I guess also Felix probably wouldn't know too much about it anyway.
I mean, he might, given that you gave him prep time to do research on where he needs to go and stuff.
I guess so. I mean, it is on the other side of the world, basically. It's quite a distance. You've come quite far, then. Well, look, I've not heard too much about any gauntlets. Hell, I've not even had that many visitors. We get the occasional people come up here. They think that I'm just on my own. Give me some firewood and some other things, but I usually keep to myself. Well, me and the girl, that is. Whenever she feels like coming down.
It's fair. A quiet lifestyle can be quite nice.
I apologize for the whole slitting your throat thing there, priest.
Again, it's not the first time I've been almost killed.
Still, killing a holy
He was
man.
trespassing anyway.
That's probably gonna get me some kind of damnation.
It is fine. I mean, Adamite works in various ways.
I wouldn't blame him if he slit his throat. Out of character.
Look,
No, he goes full Jason Voorhees and stabs me into the wall with it.
pins you to it. What? Well, look, why don't you come take a seat? You must be cold, freezing. I'll get you something warm to drink or something.
That would be most excellent. Thank you.
So, you guys sort of take a seat. You sort of you sit down at some chairs and he sort of prepares you some cups and fills them with a sort of boiling water. And he sort of, what he does is he puts some sort of tea bags in them and takes a seat with you. But whilst this is going on, Anarche and Ferb.
Could I just say before that, I'd say while they're talking, while the people are sitting down and stuff, Felix will fill this man in on how the tournament started, what's happening,
Okay.
just catch him up.
And I will still give him the piece of jewelry I made.
The bloodstained piece of jewelry.
I mean, my neck was bleeding on the other side of the floor.
That is true.
Oh boy, blood diamonds.
Because the thing is, when you fell onto the side of your body that you weren't holding the things from, because that's how he noticed that you made the jewelry. So again, the blood didn't get on the jewelry, thankfully. Anyway, so Anarche and Ferb. So Anarche, where exactly are you going?
Well, I have two places I wish to go to. One is a very quick journey to Smith.
Okay. You go up to Jimmy Grum.
Hello, Grum. How are things going?
Well, as you can tell, I've got quite a lot of different items and ends and bits and bobs, and business has been booming. It's incredible how much more money you make when it turns out that the people that are trying to get your weapons don't have to go to an underground place where they don't even know it exists, and most of the people who come here want weapons of destruction because it's legally allowed now. So yeah, business is doing quite well. How can I help you?
Well, I came in to get some things made. Gosh, such a surprise. I need you to make some rings. Now, I don't think the material matters, but I guess this will be down to your opinion. Quite a simple thing, at least as far as I'm aware. Obviously, you're aware of the fact that I can travel to certain blood transfused items.
You want me to get you some rings that you can transport to those rings?
Yes, enough for my entire party.
Well, that's pretty simple. I can make it out of basic stainless, and that'll be solved as that. Considering that there ain't really too many bonuses from your abilities for that to happen. I mean, the blood infusion is pretty much all you really need.
Cool. How much will that cost? I'll pay up front.
Well, considering it's 5 separate items, all with the same amount of blood infusion, I'd have to probably do the blood infusion first and then make the rings, so I'd probably say probably around about maybe 500 stars or points.
That's fine, yeah, I'll give you that.
You give him over 500, so I guess take 500 away from your ginormous number.
I don't know what you mean, it's quite small, really.
He also then asked for either a sample of a blood-infused object that you'd like the rings to be made out of, or your own blood.
Can I just give him hair? Or does he really want blood?
I mean, he does say that he'll need a pretty sizable lock of it.
Alright. I'll give him blood. I mean, I could get a haircut, but you know.
You don't want Baldanake?
Bald Nake.
Baldanake. No. I'll get a haircut when I need a really powerful weapon. Alright. I'll give him the blood.
He takes it, and he says, well, this should be done by the end of the day, actually.
Oh, nice.
Can't exactly go slacking on the owner of the island, now can I? Especially considering that you just stuck it to the entirety of the holy city. Nah. Look, I didn't exactly have too much of a connection to my sister. Hell, there are siblings that I don't even know about out there. But, regardless, blood of mine has been spilt. And even though that I didn't exactly know Ten too well either, he and every other kid that he's ever had perished. And that makes me fucking distraught that our blood would ever be spilt. He then, his hammer that he's holding in his hand just bends as he's squeezing it, like the metal begins to bend around it. So, if you want a weapon, or 2, or 3, or even more, I wouldn't mind sticking it to those elitist scumbags who took everything from good, kind, honest people just because of the way that they looked.
Yes, well, hopefully, not hopefully, once I'm done with them, there shouldn't be any elitists left. The only thing you should know, is that I wouldn't worry about your, blood being gone for long. I have a plan to bring them back.
So we got bioweapon number 3.
Yep.
and next we go to good old Fergus. He can be bioweapon number 4.
You just added something to my list. Thank you.
No problem.
Yeah, so I appreciate the help. I'll make sure you're fortified when things come Can't have my best smith going.
Well, I'll do my best. I'll get to work.
Alright. Oh, Gunhead, do you want anything?
No thanks, boss. I've got my 2 arms.
I like your style.
Felt a lot of good that did for you, as he then goes off
Oh.
with the ingot.
Man. You're getting smack talk left and right, aren't you?
I mean, it's not like I don't deserve it. Put on a poor show on my first match.
No, it's not that you're not powerful. It's just, didn't exactly get the best opponents to be fighting, to be fair. Not that will be an excuse when you're dying, but in this instance.
I like the vote of confidence.
Well, you'll get there.
As an
But
arcade,
otherwise, you'll probably
Okay.
be dead.
as an arcade moves on to the next thing on his list, where are you going next?
Oh, to the land of the sunken moon, more importantly. To the Emperor's place. The palace.
Okay. The Empress or the Emperor?
We'll go to the Emperor first.
Fair
I
enough.
feel like the Emperor, yeah.
The two of you head there through Portal to get there. You are eventually greeted, as you would be. And you eventually meet up with the Emperor to discuss with him whatever you need to discuss. What comes up in your conversation?
Well, first of all, are you aware of my recent actions?
He does state this as he goes, well, to be entirely honest, I am completely aware of what you did. Although, I'm not exactly massively impressed. I mean, I guess some congratulations are in order for what you've done, but...
No, I don't really want congratulations for what I've done. I'm not doing this out of a sense of,
At the same
Right.
time, I guess showing a sense of weakness and also a sense of strength is also key to a warrior's journey.
No, look. As far as I'm concerned, eventually, if things continue the way they are, things aren't going to be exactly great for this world, if I'm being realistic. I mean, your arguably most superpower in this world is an elitist bunch who abuse their powers, put all of those beneath them weak, and basically are purists, so anyone who doesn't match their formaity gets annihilated.
Oh, sorry, are we talking about something else?
Oh. Well, what are you talking about?
I was talking about your match up against the Guardians. I mean, you did pretty well, but I mean, personally, you getting your ass beat is actually kind of a little bit embarrassing as your previous teacher.
True. I'll give you that. That was a very bad performance of my day.
But you're saying this as if something else. There's a superpower out there. You mean
I've
as in,
started the War of Eden, just to catch you up to speed.
you've done what?
Yes. That's the elitist I was talking about.
Why exactly would you do so?
Well, first of all, they murdered Felix's entire family.
Okay, say no more.
So, I want to make sure that these elitists and these purists, because they essentially attack people out of this, I want to make sure this isn't a thing in the future. So, I have no interest in harming civilians in this war at all, but I am looking to completely destroy that government. However, realistically, as strong as I am, and as strong as everyone else is, I can't fight a war about that.
So what are you asking us?
I'm asking for an alliance, if possible, to remove this once and for all.
You're asking us, an island nation, to fight against individuals that we've never really had an issue with. Mostly because
Yeah.
most other places have left us alone. Not 2 months after we have just gotten out of a 10-year-long civil war.
I'm to be fair with you, if you say no, it's completely understandable. And to be fair, it would probably be better for your country. So again, I completely understand. However, all I will say is this: your view of how you want the world is great. I do, but it completely contradicts the view of those that they have. At what point are they going to turn their attention to you? Because eventually, the way this is going, it's not really going to last long.
I'm going to say roll me either persuasion or diplomacy with advantage.
I guess diplomacy, because I feel like I'm making an argument here, right? So
Yeah, fair enough.
natural 20.
No,
Diplomat strikes again!
Yeah.
It's just showing it yet again that it is just intimidation that you're terrible at for some reason.
Yeah, I can't intimidate, but I can bring eternal peace to any country I go to.
It's crazy. Destruction of property is not only so easy that you could just basically break a brick whilst holding it too tightly, and that's not even the highest feat of your strength. And yet people are like, nah, that's not an intimidating creature. But then this guy who's just like, I barely know anything about this world, but you know, people bad and you don't like them and they don't think the same way you think, and they're like, oh, you're absolutely right, we should work together. He goes, you know what, you do make an excellent point. Besides, if anything, I think that it would be quite good if the rest of this location were to come to an agreement. Very well, but I will need you to speak with the Empress on this matter, alongside myself. We shall go to her and ask her if she would actually be willing to join us. If so, then you have my full support. We will give you any amount of troops that we can spare, including the 4 Guardians. Heck, if we can get enough people on the side from the south, we might even be able to have it that I can join.
I will only say this, though. Your country comes first. Don't worry about me. If it really comes down to it, protect your people.
And okay, if these people are damaging the world in ways in which that they believe themselves to be better than others, I think that this actually could be a concern.
It's a bit more of a concern, but I get your point.
Especially if they've killed innocents. It's not exactly easy, but even during our war, even some of the pirates wouldn't kill unarmed children or certain individuals that were just minding their own businesses. Now, obviously, there were some that were outside of that or believed themselves to be above it, but even Yol Kaiga punished his own. I think you already found that out on Jotun Jail.
Your Kaiga's grudge came from a place of, well, from what I remember hearing, formal aggression. These people are not like that. If collateral damage is necessary for their purity, then any amount of numbers are worth it. But I guess I shouldn't be making this argument to you. I have to convince someone else that, so.
Then let us away.
Away we go.
You use the portal to get it back to the Empress's palace. You are again... You again receive the same reception that you received last time. Bunch of guards basically pointing their swords at you. Eventually they realise who you are and allow you and the Emperor to walk to go and see the Empress. You are still taken by, with a load of guards, but eventually she informs the rest of them to leave and she is practically alone. However, except from one difference. Her guard in mineral armor, your previous opponent from the humans team, is aside her.
Yeah.
So you wish to speak to me of something? Please, go ahead, Emperor. Thank you, Empress. Anarche and myself have just had a discussion, and something that has come up would require your attention. Anarche, if you would.
Yes, sure. So, how aware of you are of recent events between me and Eden?
The mineral samurai then just says, Empress, if I may, go on. Anarche, known as the Fury Fist, but also known as Anarche the Heretic, recently given that title by those who are of Eden. We know of you because that I was recently asked as to whether or not I would join Eden's support in the war effort against you. However, I wanted to inform them that I did not exactly disagree with your extremism. Despite the fact that you did attack them, you were attacked first by Simakael, and even led to the death of many. Although we do not necessarily agree with certain power users or the use of certain abilities, we don't have anything against Tusconians just because they were mutated. Even though that they look different, most people actually believe that they were cursed and that they're just trying to live their lives. Although that we do believe that human factors and powers are the natural methods of human, we also find that it would be hypocritical if we were to, at the very least, disengage from a person's humanity just because of the powers that they possess. Even though that I swallow my pride when I say this, you already know that I have a superpower. We fought against each other. So when I say this, Empress, Eden has set a warpath against Anarche and his crew. But they also wish to aim their sights at Husconia. Even though that they are power users, they are, without a doubt, killing innocent civilians, and even claiming the lives of individuals who have done nothing wrong, just for merely existing. Even if they were to take them down because their power use is dangerous, they have killed and they have tortured those who are undeserving, including a family. Not a single one of them were even remotely to do with this. She looks up at her subordinate and then looks back over to you. Eden did send an individual here. I said that I would give it time. As a matter of fact, you just missed him. The fact that you're asking me to join sides with you, it's quite difficult. But they do understand that we are a little bit more inclined to agree with them. But I wouldn't exactly say that we fully side with them. We just got done with a current tyrant. We don't exactly want to deal with them, but I did ask the messenger something. I asked the messenger if he knew of the old Kaiga and what he was doing in this sea, to of which the answer was not exactly what I wanted to hear. Apparently, members of Eden did not want to overstay their welcome, literal quote. And because of that, we were not helped by them. They stated that the reason as to why they didn't help us was because that we did not wish for help from those who had abilities and powers, and although I do agree I probably never would have said yes to them, it is still something that does not sit right with me. So, I will hear your argument, Anarche, considering that you did save this place, alongside other members of both your team and members of my own kingdom. So please, make your claim.
Well, thank you, Empress, for hearing me out. Well then, allow me to be blunt. These people, or I guess I should say, the government of Eden, specifically the heads and a lot of the more powerful people, they have this view of, well, I'm sure you're already aware, purity. And the very concept of power itself is one to be ruled above others. Not only that, if you are, well, what they consider impure, well, not even impure, anything of a mistake or a collateral damage, you are to be involved. But I guess the main reason why they didn't want to get involved with your Kaiger, to be honest with you, was because probably he was not really doing anything to them too much of a nuisance, and, well, to be honest, their philosophies are kind of similar in a lot of ways. Your Kaiger was well, he hated people for what they had done, true, but overall, end of the day, he was a tyrant. People beneath him had to be powerful or have something of interest to be worth, very much how Eden views everyone. To even get into the city, you have to be prove you're the best or brilliant at something, really, to even get involved. Now, tell me something. People like you who argue, let's say, want peace and a sense of calmness, what is really going to happen once you disagree with Eden? Do you think they're going to talk it out with you peacefully? No. Anything that you will do against them will eventually be used as misguidance, and to purify this world, you will have to be erased. Of course, to them, collateral damage is, well, as previously stated with Felix's family, just a small minor thing that must be done. And I will say this, in my battle against them, I do not wish for collateral damage or damage to civilians. I only really want one thing. I want to remove their government by force that it seems has to be necessary, so that I can stop this from happening in the future.
You wish to undo the damage that they are doing to their others. You wish to only remove the cancerous parts of the government. And hopefully...
Not everyone there is evil. That would just be stupid thinking. I know I'm dumb at times, don't get me wrong, but that's like pure stupid thinking to assume everyone there is evil. No. Like many people, they listen to their leaders for guidance. And they form around that. It just so happens in this case, well, I've restated their views. So, I wish to completely reform the government, not necessarily take control, mind you, but set up something new. That is ultimately the goal of my war. Now, as you've stated before, and as the Emperor stated, you have only just gone over a civil war and being beheaded by pirates. So, I completely understand if your country comes first.
Roll me a diplomacy or persuasion, again with advantage.
I'll roll diplomacy. Oh.
Diplomacy.
Oh, it's only that's a 13.
I will only agree to this if the North can also agree to this. She looks over at Novas. Of course. As a matter of fact, that's even why I came here in the first place. We need to help them. As Anarche did say, if they start dealing with us, who's to say that they won't just turn and deal with the rest that they don't agree with, or don't agree with them? You have our support. Keep in touch.
I do like a sing bow. Thank you, Empress.
You are welcome. After that's said and done, along with everything else, where do you and Ferb head off next?
So, for Gunhead, I'm just going to call you Gunhead, you're fine with that, right?
Yes, boss.
I mean, I can call you Ferb if you prefer.
I would very much appreciate that more.
Alright, So that's all you have to say. You don't have to treat me like I'm some god, by the way.
Well, obviously, but with the way you treat everyone else, I think very highly of you.
Oh gosh, you're gonna make me blush. Anyway, you're fine with bars, right?
Yeah, I tend to spend a lot of my time there.
Right. Don't be surprised if you get challenged to a fight.
It's what I'm built for.
Cool. Yeah, so I go to the battle bar in Huscania.
Fair enough. We now go back to the party. So the other side of the party, Aldous, Felix, and Stan, you have just finished explaining the whole situation to this guy, including pretty much anything and everything, keeping him up to speed with everything that's happened over the last 3 months. He sort of just he's finished his tea and he sort of just sat there, sort of his hands in a sort of pyramid over his eyes, looking down at the table, as he just says, "Now I knew that the world was crazy the last couple of decades, but I could never have imagined that would happen. You see, I've been here for 35 years. I've never imagined that things could ever get this bad." So, you're telling me that you're looking for some gauntlets. I'm afraid I've not exactly heard of any particular gauntlets or anything, but potentially there might be someone who might know where they are.
Well, any leads, anything we can get would be good.
Well, you could ask my daughter.
Okay.
The only thing is that I need to warn you. She's not like other people.
All right.
She sits up there most days. In fact, all she does is sit up there. The girl's mother died not long after she was born. It wasn't long until we realized that there was something not quite right with her. That's not fair to say. She's got a gift, a power that awoke her not long after she was born. Most people usually don't gain their powers until after 16 or 18. Some people early bloom a couple years before, but no one's ever unlocked their powers before the age of 10. She gained her abilities when she was only 1 year old. Frightened the hell out of us, to be honest. As I said, her mother died not too long after. She wasn't even 2 before. I had to run. The 2 of us left. That was the only way that we could get away safe. We got to this mountaintop. We were able to build a cabin, or at least I was, along with the help of some friends. But, eventually, I told them to leave us alone. Alienated ourselves from the world. We stayed up here so that the girl's powers wouldn't kill, or maim, or harm anything or anyone else. But then, I realized why she came here. Why we came here. Something drew us to this place. Something big and powerful. A weapon of some sort. Ever since she was old enough, she would just walk out of the house and go up to the peak and just stare. Stare at the weapon for days, weeks, months, until years. She might very well be able to help you find these things. She seems to know a lot of things that happen on these mountains, despite the fact that we've never left them. You might be able to ask her, but I warn you, be careful. Not only is she my daughter, and obviously I love and care for her dearly, but something ain't right with her. Whatever she was born with, it's not normal, even of this world.
Where is she then?
Not too far, though.
Is she outside?
She sits there in the cold, outside in the rain, snowfall, damn blizzards, lightning storms, everything. Just a bit further up. Maybe 100, 200 meters upwards. As a matter of fact, did you notice the strange field around this house? There's no snow, no rain, nothing touches this place. Did you not think why?
I mean, there have been known to be many such phenomena.
This is a mountain, son. That's true. But even a single snowflake hasn't touched this house in almost 20 years. That's just only the smallest piece of what she can do.
He's been given a great gift from Anamite then.
No.
Perhaps we should go meet her.
He then just slams his hand onto the table as everything just rocks. Some of your cups sort of rattle. It was a curse! If Animite's the reason, then Animite cursed my daughter!
Anamite gives us a great gift. It may not seem it, but it does.
She killed her own mother at the age of not even 2. Her powers take life. If you are not careful, she'll take yours.
Don't worry. I have no intention. I don't think Anamite will allow me to die this day.
I'll make sure no one gets hurt, not even your daughter.
I'll warn you, if you're not careful, she'll make you end up like the others.
Understood.
Go on. If you think you can talk to her, she might be able to help you. But I warn you, whatever you do, try not to go near that weapon. It is of great power, but consequences of that item being left from this place, I don't know what she'd do.
I understand.
Go on. Get out here.
I will get up and yeah. Actually, can I ask how cold was it outside whenever we weren't in the field of coldness? Whenever I opened the door.
I mean, the difference between inside and outside is like night and day.
No, but remember when I was outside and I opened the door? Like I was just outside, just the immediate outside.
So when you were just outside, so just as a thing, there was for some reason that it's almost like as if winter has not touched that like a spot around the house. When you got there, it was still freezing. Like there was still ice everywhere, but there's no snow. Like snow does not touch that place, so it is still very cold.
Okay. Can I attempt to make myself a big fur coat?
Yeah, sure.
like a fur dress version of what I'm wearing now.
Yeah, okay. Well done. You turn into a fur coat. No. Can I?
Yes, I have another power to the stone.
Can I make myself a coat? Yes, you are now a coat. No. Yeah, you just
I knew Bill's powers came with me.
you transmute the sort of air into a big old fluffy coatish robe. You're inventing new things as you go along.
New fashion.
Do you make some for Felix?
Does he look like, considering I was the one who was freezing to death, does it look like the old
It still looked like he was cold.
Oh. Yeah, I will. Can I make one for every? Can I just make, using one roll, make one for everyone?
I mean, Stan doesn't need one. Like, Stan's already got, like, winter clothes.
Bam! He's getting the best of both. He's getting the biggest, fluffiest coat ever around him.
I'll say with a natural 20, this thing is also like it counts as armor as well. Like it's like a big fluffy thing that's like Kevlar weaved or something.
Does it give me cold resistance to my? How much cold?
It does indeed give you cold resistance. You won't have to roll now for survival whilst you're in this cold. But also, it also gives you like an additional resistance to slashing attacks, as it gives you plus 10 slashing and piercing damage resistance.
Do you know what it's like? Because I learned about this earlier on a program. You know, beards.
Yeah,
apparently they actually help deflect damage to the face.
Yes, I think it's up to like 40% of the damage resistance or something like that.
Yeah, 45% because it distributes the whole force around the face.
Yes, yeah.
Right.
Is that why you have such a full beard, Joe? Constantly in danger of your face being hit?
I mean,
exactly.
I am in constant danger of being hit, but it's not because I'm in a war zone. It's just because I'm an incredibly insufferable asshole.
Exactly. The only reason it stop right now is because I live in Northern Ireland.
Yeah.
Also, I have a beard, and that's also the same reason.
But
oh yeah.
Oh dear. Anyway, yeah. So you make him a cool ass coat, and
it's
you begin
on parka.
You begin heading up the mountain. As you continue up said mountain, what do the three of you do? Do you just keep going up? Do you try anything, or do you just keep?
I might transform to and grab the two of them and jump.
Okay.
Just for further.
How high is the mountain's peak?
I mean, what, from where you are, or in total from sea level?
From where? How far do I have to travel?
About
exactly?
150, 200 meters.
Well, do you know what? I'm going to do 190 meters.
I mean, Felix also could just,
Yeah, I could just.
I mean, the difference is that we won't maybe accidentally cause an avalanche.
Good point.
Yeah, that's fair.
Have you ever thought of that, Felix, as you leap and yell and scream?
Yeah, I was screaming.
Yeah, that's a good point. He never said that.
I mean,
but
you're leaping in the air.
How much do you weigh?
I don't think that's really good. What are we doing here?
All right. Well, someone roll for something. Someone roll for something. Goddamn.
I will roll to make a spatial portal. No, I won't.
No, you will not. You've done
all right.
I will
20s.
I will instead succumb to the elements.
I guess Felix is picking you up.
Okay. Roll labor.
Yep. And this is Felix is transformed, so it'll be with the plus 16. 23.
Okay. I just have to roll something.
Destroy the man's house.
We can make sure that we went to the opposite side of the
Oh no, it's too late now. No, that's
Don't
not
worry.
what I'm rolling for.
Don't worry, I've got hydrokinesis. I can just turn it to. I can turn it to the thing.
So you leap up, and eventually you sort of like you'll begin falling until like you're still holding onto these guys as you finally slam into the ground, and sort of disperse the snow around you. However, not to the extent of any kind of avalanche or earthquake. As you're up there, you see a gigantic bolt of lightning strike in front of you, and as it sort of makes you sort of jump a bit, you sort of look back, and at the peak of this mountain is a large, sort of a large hammer, or at least, should I say, a large axe with a hammer on the back of it. The entire thing looks like as if it's made out of steel or some kind of metal. The axe head is embedded into the peak of the mountain, and the lightning struck against it. As you sort of look at that, you sort of notice that you just hear a voice saying, "What are you doing here?" As you sort of turn about 5 meters away from the actual peak of the mountain is a girl in a sort of a black costume, or at least what looks to be sort of like some kind of like blackened, sort of like tightened wear. It doesn't look like as if it's actually sort of very much like, how do I put it this way? It doesn't look like as if it's big and fluffy, but actually it's like compact, tightly bound around her. Kind of almost similar to like the clothes that like Cloak wore, like again sort of almost similar like to that kind of costume sort of style. But actually she's barefoot, and the sleeves only go to her elbows. So again, it doesn't look like as if she's actually like appropriately dressed for the winter. Despite this, her entire body is pretty much covered up except from her elbows all the way down to her hands and her feet. But she does not have any face coverings except from black welding goggles on her eyes. She has long black hair that stretches down to her back.
Can I ask two questions? When you said girl, I'm assuming she's in her 30s, considering
Yes,
what
she's
the guy
she's 36, yeah. Although she does look younger than 36. She doesn't look like a little girl, but she does look a little younger than 36.
Yeah, and B, like, how do your arms look? Are they blue, or are they like? Does she look fine?
Pale white. She looks like as if she hasn't really seen the sun. She doesn't look like as if she's got pale white albino-ish skin, but it does look like as if she's like barely ever been touched by the sun.
I meant more. She doesn't look like she's freezing to death. Her arms,
no,
like,
straight up. There seems to be no scars or cuts or burns or freezing marks or anything like that. It looks as though her skin has completely been untouched by the weather.
Okay. Well, I mean, first Felix will set the electric down.
Hello there.
What are you doing here?
We were searching for something called the Havoc Gauntlet. Your father down in the cabin said you might have a better knowledge of where those could be.
Gauntlets. Why do you want them?
There is currently a war brewing due to with Eden. We simply seek to stop them before it gets out of hand.
Angel from Eden. That's what he called himself. The last man who tried to touch that. What you're standing next to.
Is there a body on the ground?
There is not.
Oh.
But I will say, there is no snow within at least a couple, about like 4 meter radius around the axe.
Is there any radiation burn marks? Like, is there just a black mark in the ground where someone might have been?
You can roll me a perception or an insight to see if that's a thing. Actually, I'm going to say perception.
Yeah, 11. Is there the scorch marks of an angel?
You can't necessarily see any scorch marks, no.
Okay. It's okay.
We
You thought that he could touch it. And he was wrong. Said that he was looking for a weapon that could help him. But it seems as though the weapon claimed him.
How long ago was this?
Earlier today.
Okay.
This happened a lot.
People come here looking for this weapon, wanting its power. Eventually the weapon claims them.
Do you want the weapon?
No. But
Are
I
you the
am.
weapon's guardian?
No. But I am supposed to be its holder.
Why don't you hold it?
I don't want to.
That's fair. I can get that. We have no intentions to even touch
I know
that
you
weapon.
don't. You're looking for the gauntlets because that you fight with fists. You
Correct.
are wanting this power because that you need to stop the people of Eden. But why? Why exactly do you fight them?
They took my family. For a reason I can only, describe as pure racism.
To want to hate something because of what they are isn't necessarily inherently evil. She looks at her hands. I killed my mother. I don't even remember her face. Am I evil because that I killed? Or are the people around me evil because that they hate me because of who I killed? Who is to say that either of us are wrong?
It largely depends on intentions.
And what were their intentions?
Their intentions were to wipe out a people who were merely existing because they are different.
There are many people in this world who are different. For instance, you have tremendous strength. You were down by my father's cabin just a second ago, and now you're here. And you're teeming with tiny little bits of electricity. You have things inside you.
Don't we all?
You all
Yeah.
are different. You're all objectively odd, weird, dangerous. But yet we get to choose who is more and who is less, because of the amount of damage we can deal to the world and how many lives we can claim. What will you do against these angels?
I seek to stop them, not to kill, like they have done to my family and my friends. But to stop any more harm to come to the people around us. For any reasons. If you are different in any way, that does not make you lesser. Whether if something is harming you that is of your own birth, people should be around to help, not kill.
Should, but that doesn't mean that they are.
It doesn't.
Look,
My-
I know where these gauntlets are. I know where they are. I know where they were placed. I even know how to get them. I can help you. But I don't see why I should. There are people who come to this mountain and looking for power. Some look for it for the objectivity of wanting something else. Some wish to fill a hole inside of their hearts. Others, they want it so that they can kill, maim and destroy. Some have even tried to come here and claim the lives of others. including my own. I mean, there are many people here who have always tried to take my life, just because that I exist. The wind begins to blow a bit. You'll notice that at some point the wind hits you guys, just ever so slightly. Some snow flies off at the peak, and you notice a destroyed and very badly burnt and frost-bitten head that has probably been there for quite some time, buried under the snow.
I
Want help?
Sorry again?
Oh, he asked, do you want help?
Why would I need help?
I'm afraid. Afraid of your own gifts.
I feel like this is where all this dies.
Might be.
I'm just waiting for all this to get shot off the mountaintop.
My fear is well placed. You, on the other hand, do not understand. I wished not to use my abilities, but people force me to. The one that is there died many weeks ago from trying to get the weapon, and when it did not work for him, he tried to attack me. He found out the hard way.
Do you want the weapon gone?
It does not bother me whether the weapon is here or not, but there is only certain people that can wield it.
If it's gone, it might mean they might stop coming here. Might stop trying to hurt you.
The weapon can only be taken by those who are worthy.
Can I look at the weapon again?
Yeah.
The weapon just speaks to you in Animite. No, not you.
Like, okay, this might sound like a weird question. How strong does it look?
How jacked is it?
From the handle all the way to the actual weapon, it's entirely made out of some kind of metal. This thing looks big and bulky. Like, it looks like as if it should be a two-handed weapon in terms of its size, but the handle seems to be built more like as if it would be wielded like a one-handed weapon.
Okay. Can I ask? Does chemistry manipulation affect blood transfused objects again?
Yes, it affects literally any physical matter, unless if there's a specific ability that like dispels that. But again, you've not really come across that, nor are you necessarily aware of that.
I might be able to destroy that weapon for you.
I promise you that you can't. You are welcome to try, but I would remind you that only those who are worthy can take the weapon.
If I can destroy it, is that what you want?
What I want is irrelevant.
No, it isn't.
Trust me. It is.
Can I just say, if she is like mental mind person, he is 100% thinking of his own children at this point.
Fair enough.
You have kids?
Oh yeah, he had kids.
Have kids, yeah.
He did have kids.
Part of his story that we still haven't found out.
Yeah,
yes.
and I'll attempt to destroy the hammer.
Okay. Just having a look at something.
I'm assuming it won't work, but you know, worth a shot.
Okay. You sort of are you touching this, or how are you trying to go about this?
Essentially, Aldous will aim his hand directly at the hammer and attempt to disassemble it molecule by molecule.
Oh, transmutation.
Yeah, transmutation.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, I have to clarify now because I have so many new powers.
That's fair. That's fair.
Yeah.
As you go to do this, you notice that like the sort of light comes out and begins sort of like trickle out through to the object itself as it begins warping to the weapon. As this happens, what are you trying to turn it into again?
Just trying to disperse the atoms.
Yeah, just turn it into air, essentially. Just
Okay.
destroy it entirely. Remove it from its existence.
As you attempt to do so, you sort of like hit this sort of object with it, and you can actually feel that the entire object is being hit by this transmutation field. As you begin to notice that it's beginning to warp and break apart, and beginning to disassemble, as light begins to show through the cracks where it's beginning to be like broken apart and sort of like altered, and as it begins to sort of mish and mash until eventually it starts warping and then bursts into sort of like the light and sort of electricity. As suddenly the electricity that comes forth is not normal, it's not natural. It begins to go black as it then rebounds and hits into you, dealing 47 points of damage. However, I need you to roll me a survival check.
Okay.
Nice knowing your orders.
Yeah, it
Yeah,
was.
nice now, yeah.
Is this the time I become possessed by some evil entity?
Yes.
Bro!
Shot through the heart
As-
as you're too late.
As the weapon becomes altered and breaks open, it outside of this, it becomes light and lightning. As then from the center of this object, as it's completely turned into electricity, black lightning shoots out of it in like multiple sort of like ropes, and suddenly a single vein of electricity hits you directly in the chest. As it does so, the rest of it folds out upwards and goes into the sky, hitting the clouds. This completely takes you down as you go to the ground. The weapon then warps back, turning back into normal electricity, shaping back into its original form, and becomes completely metallic yet again, as if nothing happened. Aldous, you go to the ground. On top of 47 points of damage, you are now in fatal moments.
He's alright.
Yeah, he'll be fine.
As
I
you're
mean, you said like
basically,
this isn't the first time I almost died today.
you also, however, are also paralyzed from the chest downwards.
Okay.
I did
As-
say nice knowing.
It's pretty much like as if he's unconscious, or at least basically like writhing, like breathing oddly. I told him he was able to
You
do
just-
what he wished.
Yeah, you did tell him. Or I'm gonna summon a friend over here to take him to, hospitalize him if that's fine with you.
It's useless. Whatever he does, the lightning will not be healed.
Can I, I just want to see what happens. I'll make a portal. Step away, do my normal thing. See if I can just make a portal underneath the hammer. I just want to see what happens with my default.
Don't leave me out here alone with it.
Just to, I guess just to an Arcade's pocket dimension, you know?
Oh, okay, you're going to try and use that. Okay.
Fucking
So you go-
mentioned
You go on over to it and sort of like you place this device next to it to open a portal?
No, I don't need to place it next so I can stand up to 60 meters away if I want.
Okay,
I don't need to.
I guess roll tech.
Just see what happens, you know? See what
Why are you guys so interested in this hammer? We came here for something else.
It's
Yeah,
a
no,
hammer.
we're-
It's a hammer slash axe, my dude.
Yeah, but if we drop it in the middle of the charter, then people just keep getting curious and dying.
As you go to do this, by the way, does the machine itself disconnect from you and then sort of does this, or do you have to hold the machine?
I guess I can. Yeah, I can hold it or
Okay.
press it and then just place it down. It doesn't
Okay.
really-
But I'm assuming that you're just holding it and pressing it.
I'll just press it. Yeah.
Okay. As you do this,
I'm going to be the only one alive on this mountaintop.
as you sort of do this, you press it, and then you start noticing that like you obviously create this portal until suddenly like something weird goes off with the energy as sparks of electricity come from the machine, and it explodes in your hand. Roll me Fortitude.
How was he supposed to know consequences would happen?
As your hand is covered in like horrible burns and cuts, as your hand is beginning to bleed. However, because you're a healing user, it doesn't actually cause a bleeding ailment, but your hand is messed up.
It's just really annoying.
Can I attempt to heal myself?
No,
you're in
again,
fatal
you're in fatal
moments.
moments. You're basically doing the equivalent of a cardiac arrest. You can't currently do
Oh!
anything.
Oh,
All
okay.
right. So you know, big Swordle. You know, let's get Anake over here just so you can at least take them to a place where they can get medical attention.
Fair enough. You
That's not
Begin-
the top of a freezing mountain.
You begin trying to contact Anake as it says, calling Anake, calling Anake. As we come to Anake, you open the portal and go through it alongside Ferb. You eventually get into the outside of a bar called the Battle Bar. You go in alongside Ferb, and as you do, I want to point out it's really nice. There's glass sort of like windows. Like it's almost like glass window walls, kind of like almost like the outside of a Starbucks. But as you go in, there's lots of like big old like wooden and metal tables everywhere. People are drinking and eating, and really sort of enjoying themselves. A lot of them are like having chicken wings, or some of them are eating some kind of like big old steak. Some of them are drinking beer. Some of them are drinking like cocktails. And as you get there, there's this big blue Huskonian, massive body, as he's going, yes, well done. Now, let's have another. Everyone turns around, stops, and looks dead at Anake. One of them goes,
Yo.
It is a disgusting Omegan. I know. What will we do? I've got an idea. How about we open one up for Anake? Welcome back! As everyone just sort of chugs and drinks to it. It's like, round on him! It's been too long, friends. What has it been? Almost 6 weeks?
I think so, yeah. It's been quite a while.
You damn near stopped on by. I saw the fight, huh? Simikael! More like Simikai dead! I need to work on that. But hey, how have you been other than killing angels?
Pretty good. Almost there. Almost won. The tournament, but you know, yeah, can't really say anything too specific really off the top of my head. Oh, except one thing, but that's business. That can wait for a second. I guess I should introduce you to my friend here. This is
Gunhead! Yeah, I saw you. You got destroyed. Poor little man, Gunhead.
Not the best fight, but I'll hopefully feel better in the next one.
Well, I hope you will, because we here at Huskonia like our fights about strength, but when you suddenly pulled up with 3 different guns now coming out of your body, now that was interesting. But we hope to see very good things from you. Now, Mr. Gunhead and Anake, I know that you personally don't drink, but at least come on. Let's see you liven up the party, huh? What exactly is it that you're in for?
Well, Gunhead. Well, sorry. Bub, feel free to get whatever. I'll pay for it this time.
Sure thing, boss.
Now, I will warn you, we don't exactly drink too much weak stuff, but We definitely like a person who can come in and take a challenge.
I'm always down for one. I tend to brew strong stuff myself.
No kidding. He then brings out a big old mug, fills it right up to the top, and he just puts it down in front of you. Drink up, friend. Now, let us see what exactly you are made of. Roll me metabolism.
Oh boy.
You got this, I believe. Got me.
My rolls were really bad today.
Passed out.
And I rolled a lot.
You take one, so it's like, oh, that's pretty. Little man. Anyway, Anake, I think I know what you're here for. And look, I'm flattered. Really, I think that there's a lot of possibility in what you are about to propose. But to be honest, I think a lot of people might be concerned. I mean, it could be quite dangerous.
I mean, that is ultimately anyone's, sadly, isn't it? Well, sadly, depending on your view of things.
Yes.
I'm not going to force you. The suggestion's open whenever you like. But I'll sit down at the bar, as I'm properly facing him. Considering you're a friend, I'll let you into some knowledge that probably. But I'm fully serious about this, to the point where I've already gotten a country's full support.
Wait, what? Country's full support? What, to fight in here?
Oh,
Yes.
yeah. Well, I'll work on that.
Oh, sorry, friend. I thought that you were trying to get in here to have a fight with one of these guys. After we saw what you did to Simikael, not very many people want to have a fight with you. After all, I mean, you are pretty strong. You took down Frigga Smurt, and everyone saw that. Most of us pretty sure that if you went any harder, we might have to relocate Bar.
Well, have I got the perfect location for you? Okay. Well, no, I meant for the upcoming convoy that I'm sure you're aware of.
Fellas and ladies, were you aware of some kind of conflict between Anake and the place known as Eden? All of them just sort of shake their heads, raise their beers, laugh, or even say, aye! And were you in the market, perhaps, to ask this man a question? And all of them ask the same question. Can we join? You see, Anake, they were originally concerned with your kind. After all, you did take down my boy. He's one of the strongest, but one of your crew also took down Celia, and the rest of your mates also took down some of the strongest bastards we've ever seen on this island. But not long after, on the same day, you, that big bulky man, Fig I think his name was. Two of you destroyed that angel and all of our fears were gone. A man fighting for us, even in the most direst of things. His speech that he said, even though that he killed an angel, he did it out of the fact that he killed his family, and that he was hoping that no more blood would be spilt. But little did he know, this inspired us and fueled us to create the flames of war. We have been stood on by these creatures for too long. You just say the word, and these people, and many more like them, will follow you into battle, as if you are our general. All you have to do is say when. You say jump, we say, yes sir.
Isn't it normally how high?
Yeah, we do not ask questions like that, eh? Some of us
fair
jump
enough.
different heights, eh?
It's true. It's true. Well,
My boy actually went out looking for you. Went to island of Jail of Jotun.
I was there. Huh?
Not entirely sure if he got there okay, but he definitely did it not long after you, exorcised some deadly creations.
Right. Yes. Not my proudest moment, really, but things can't stay the same forever, especially with people like them.
Still, they are calling you the heretic. Very fitting name, considering they believe themselves to be marks of God. Pieces of the divine, and you just killed two of them. One in battle, and the other an execution. Is it true you defeated the one known as Humoriel?
Yes, and well, once I'm done, they won't have a government left. But that was the point. So,
So you're taking down the big heads. That's at least 5 members, known as the Ascended Council.
oh, I know, I met them.
I have some information, and some of the others do too. But you might need to find someone else who might be able to give you some more. There are individuals who have been to the Holy City. Not here, of course, but you might be able to find some people in Garrison.
Well, thank you for the knowledge. Is there any way I can get in contact with you?
Of course you can. I can give you my number.
That will do, yes.
He gives you the deets.
Yay. Phone numbers.
You've marked it down as Mrazak's number.
Probably misspelled.
Yes. As
Where
you've...
is Zook?
It actually autocorrects it to Mr. Arzak.
Yes, I will take that.
As you sort of do that, Ferb is sort of just like still like knocked out, and you sort of try to sap him awake. He's like, as he sort of comes to, still very heavily inebriated. As you're sort of like telling them, okay, we need to get going. As suddenly you get a ring on your armband.
What I'm going to do is, before I answer, I'm just going to put my hand on Ferb's head and try and use my metabolic control to basically fasten the alcohol through his system.
Okay.
Let's see what happens, shall we? This will either be great for you, or this is going to be terrible for you. 23.
Okay. So, do you want to roll the d4?
Sure. Yeah.
Okay.
1.
1, okay. Ferb, you take 17 points of damage. However, you are awoken as you no longer feel intoxicated, but you do have like a headache that lasts all of like 30 seconds. It's very painful, and you feel very sick for a couple of seconds, but afterwards you're fine and back to normal.
That was a weird experience.
Oh, sorry about that. I basically fastened your drunkenness as I'll answer your phone.
Oh, fair enough.
Hello. Why are you calling me?
As Felix answers.
So, currently, Aldous is in fatal moments, not due to any battle, but his own doing. And Stan has a injury on his hand due to roughly the same
Yeah, sure.
scenario.
Literally in the time that it takes you to say that, his hand is sealed.
if you wouldn't mind coming over here to give mainly Aldous medical attention.
There's
It
like
is-
this
it is very
funny
cold.
weapon shooting lightning everywhere.
Oh, cool. I'll be there in a minute.
We were told not to touch it, and you know.
Alright. Yeah, Joe, I'll just open a portal to the board.
Yeah, fair enough. I won't ask you to roll this. This is a pretty simple roll. You open the portal up, teleport through there, along with Ferb as you get there. It is freezing.
Cool, I'll just pull out my winter coat.
Fair enough. Ferb, I'm going to say you're going to have to roll me a survival check because it is freezing.
Ah, fuck. Herb hates the cold.
Ugh.
God damn.
They're all gonna die on this mountaintop just by their own doing.
It's not great, but you can stick it out for at least a couple of minutes, probably a minute at least.
I hate the cold.
Aldous,
It
roll me a
always freezes up my weapons.
Aldous, roll me a survival check.
Oh god.
Just don't get an actual one.
But
Okay.
what?
You don't lose one of your tokens, but yes, you are still in fatal moments, unable to really do much. As you're basically the equivalent of it is that you're basically the unconscious or seizing.
Alright, cool. Aldous goes in the pocket dimension with the poppins.
As you just
Into the
hear,
muffin house.
as you just hear the girl just sat there, was like, "It won't work. Nothing will save him. Although he might be able to be healed, it won't be permanently healed. The scars that are made from the black lightning are indefinite. Nobody can heal them. Not properly, anyway."
No, we could always take his brain out and I could make him a new body.
Okay. Well,
That's an interesting solution. Also, nice to meet you, Anamake.
You are...
Ferb just takes one look at this woman and is like, how the fuck are you not cold?
You're so loud.
Sorry.
Did he cause
Oh.
avalanche?
You can go in the pocket dimension too if you'd like. It's
Please, get me out of this cold.
you just jump in there. It's now
There's a
just,
dead body in here.
it's now just the three of you as the portal closes up behind.
fine.
For...
Not-
You're different from the others. You're a warrior.
I mean,
Why?
kind of rude not to not call Felix a warrior.
No.
You've seen many a war and battle. I can see it in your eyes. Destruction and death follow you wherever you go, even if you're not the one causing it. You wish for better things, but you struggle to do the right thing.
Well, I mean, yeah, so does everyone. So it kind of points in.
You're different. She then actually stops, she unfolds her arms and stands up. You're much different. You might actually be able to wield it.
Oh, you mean that thing?
There's a good chance that you might not, but you're the best one I've seen so far.
I didn't come there for a weapon, but
The weapon itself is wielded once by an ancient being. The individual was called Thor, or at least that was his god name. His mortal name was known as Ra-Thorin Ramehen. Child of a particular individual from ancient Arlinia. He eventually was born, or no, altered to have a power, one of 5, that would continuously be passed down to random individuals throughout the world. His weapon holds a piece of that, and another one reincarnated with that power would have the secondary piece. A 3rd-generation individual, wielding a 2nd-generation object. But you, even though that you do not wield his power, you wield something similar. There is a good chance that you could wield the weapon. Others have come before you and have perished whilst touching it, or been sacrificed to it.
What qualifies you as a... Well, you're not exactly a warrior, are you?
No. But I have something that most others don't. They called Thor the Heart of the Storm. When I was born, after a year, I developed my powers. I have these. She points at the goggles that are not showing her eyes. My eyes are the size of the storm. As soon as I remove these goggles, that were specifically designed to block in the storm, anyone who looks upon them will be struck with black lightning. A powerful artifact can wield it, but I do not wish to wield a weapon of war.
As she's saying this, I wanna try and use
I swear, if you try to touch this...
in a minute. I want to try and use my emotion sensing things, but I want to try and delve sort of deeper into her emotions, beyond just surface emotions, right? I want to see, does she have what I previously had, that sort of lack of will to live and that lack of care, and does she also sort of have that fear of her own ability?
Yeah, you can roll for mind, although I will say you are getting you are getting a vibe of power almost similar to that of the individual that you met last night.
Yeah.
That it is of a primordial power that is beyond anything that you've seen before.
I got a natural point.
You not only see this, you see that her emotions are very dulled by something, but also by the fact that she is without experience of the rest of the world. You can sense that it's curiosity, but also it's more than that. There's almost a thing of almost she's waiting for vindication or justification that something or someone else could go ahead and take this burden off of her. You're not entirely sure if that's the exact thing, or if it's curiosity in the fact that, she's been here for so long. But either way, it's that thing of, you sense that, and you sense this deep, rooted power that is almost, the best way to explain it is it's almost chaotic. The way that you feel when you harness your power, whenever you wield it to fight against individuals when you've taken so much damage, you take control of the chaotic powers of battle and harness them in your own emotional state. But it's almost as if hers are completely untempered. The powers that she wields are as dangerous and as erratic as a storm, but even more vastly powerful than that.
I sort of putting my fingers on my chin, the thinking pose, and sort of tilting my head looking at her. Okay, I think I get it now. I met someone like you not that long ago, actually.
There are many others like me. Well, to my knowledge, there are supposed to be only 5, but I've seen a 6th before.
Well, the one I knew didn't exactly originate from this universe, so I don't know if you know them or not.
I don't know any of them. I've only heard tales.
Your lack of inexperience in the wild, then. Being stuck on this mountain, I guess. Well, I'm gonna take this thing, I think.
Before you do, I should at least warn you. There is at least a 50% chance that you will die if you touch it.
Only?
If I can jot in as well, just a reminder, your our only way out of here. Easily.
How about
Obviously, I could walk down the
I'm gonna
mountain,
go back to
but
the island with everyone else first before I do this.
I still have to go for the gauntlets.
Wait, you
So-
haven't done that yet?
We were having a conversation about the location of the gauntlets. We hadn't gone around to that part when Aldous decided to do what he did. So no, I have not gotten to that part yet.
Right, I see. Well, how do we... Oh, I think I'll just gamble. It will be fine. Well, that way, once I've done this, the burn will be off your shoulders at least as well.
Not really, but it would be at least interesting to see if this weapon of war takes to you. More so than the others that have come before you.
Well, it's a bit more of a curiosity that lies within you, I'm aware. But, sure, you should really become more in touch with your emotions here. I know your power is more proud and more chaotic than pretty much anyone's abilities, but your lack of emotional control is only going to make that worse, as I'll grab the handle.
Okay.
D100 helm.
Decision time.
I only need one hand.
Upper or lower?
Lower, of course. You gotta get good grip of the base.
Okay.
Well, like essentially one
Imagine
or
if-
two.
Roll me.
Imagine
Flipping a
this is how
coin.
he dies.
Roll me a survival.
I got this.
He has goodness.
As you grab onto this weapon, the electricity as an entire bolt of lightning strikes down against it and goes into you, as you then feel this intense pain going through your entire arm, hitting at your chest and going throughout your whole body. The electricity is painful. Roll me a willpower, either just flat willpower or willpower of body.
Oh, body. I'll roll body then.
Everyone dies trying to touch this weapon.
You
Ghost is
keep-
left alone on the mountain.
You keep holding on to this weapon, and despite everything else, this whole pain keeps going through. As this is going on, do you try to let go, or do you hold on tighter?
Oh, I hold on, but I would like to do something. I would like to try and activate my what's it called? The emotional empowerment thing.
Okay. Roll for it.
And I'm gonna go based off the fact that this is a challenge.
Okay.
Yeah, 29.
Fair enough, you activate it. As I would like you to roll me another survival.
Cool, I'll take that advantage. $18.
As it strikes you again, your entire body fills with electricity, as it again still hurts as the entire pain permeates throughout every cell in your upper torso. Your body seems to ache and ache as you begin to gain a headache. Your eyes feel like as if they cannot open, as the pain of looking out through them is just too much. As the information is also rushing through your body and your mind, everything just continues to get worse throughout here, but you still refuse to let go. Roll me willpower of the body or willpower.
I will power the body. Oh, ignore that one. Oh.
I think that's a success.
90! You did times again.
You did times
Oh,
again.
okay, no, you deleted it. I just realised.
Yeah.
Okay.
26.
You continue holding on to it as you are now refusing to give up. The electricity continues as this time it intensifies as it now covers your body rather than just going inside of your body. The electricity is now covering your entire form. Roll me either survival or endurance.
I'll roll survival.
Okay.
Would I have another survival, another advantage roll? Like, how much damage am I taking from this?
I can tell you. So the first one was fine, so now let's see if you take any additional damage. Fuck. 47 points of damage you've taken so far.
Felix just standing watching with his arms crossed in his parka.
I'll roll survival, but something I also want to do, considering she said it's based off the idea of obviously like a warrior mentality.
Yes.
I would like to try and use my level 10 spirit ability to essentially impart that sort of I don't know if this will work, but just based off the fact it seems like a somewhat sentient weapon. I like to try and essentially enforce that sort of similar to what I did with the orbs, but sort of enforce that into this weapon.
I'm going to say you can roll that before you roll survival.
Okay.
Depending on what you get will depend on what kind of thing I ask you to roll next. Okay, interesting. As you do so, the temptation to grab it with your other hand reaches its point as you grab it with your other hand and infuse your will into it. As I want to point out, the two of you who are watching this, Stan and Felix, the lightning begins to increase in size until it's almost like the two of them are lighting up like an entire Christmas tree together as this huge this huge aura of electricity is just coming from the axe, welling up around Anarche, as now Anarche is one with this huge aura of electricity that is going through them and around them. Whilst this is happening, you infuse this thing with your will, and something bites back. As that happens, you feel this intense form of want and love for combat, for damage and destruction. You feel it in your heart, that rush of adrenaline, that emotional power that you feel. But even more so, having that pride of being a warrior, having that pride of being the protector, being the fighter, being feared, being loved because of your strength and power. You feel the want and value of strength that people have, either as strength of character or physical manifestation of power and strength itself. As that courses through your mind, you also feel something else slightly push back, and as that happens, I would like you to roll me survival with advantage.
Oh, okay.
Or body with advantage.
Oh, I'll take body with advantage.
Okay.
27.
As this happens and you've infused your will into it, something else comes forth from this. As from both the axe head of this axe and the hammer head of this axe, of this weapon, burst forth electricity not like the originals. Instead, black lightning comes forth from underneath you, and black lightning comes forth above you as both begin to fork towards you. Your entire time this is going towards you. You have one last thing that you can roll for. What would you like to roll for?
Oh, okay.
If you want to roll anything at all.
You know what? No, I will continue to push this sense of through on this feeling of combat and everything that the axe is basically put into me. I basically want to use my level 10 spirit ability to push it back.
I would like you to roll me a willpower spirit with advantage.
Okay. Uh, 25.
As all of this lightning comes towards you, you push back one last time. And I want to point out to the other two, as you're watching this, Anarche's eyes begin to glow as he opens them. And the lightning stops as it starts forking around and going around him. This black lightning wraps around him but never touches him, as it's almost covering his entire body at this point, again sort of showing that it's not actually touching but sort of almost going around him. When he finally looks down, you feel this almost this presence within the weapon itself, as you feel this thing of like, you know, almost like as if you almost feel a sense of pride that you're holding this weapon and that this lightning He's not touching you. Nobody else who has ever touched this in the last so many years, you now feel like you know that this weapon has been untouched for 50-something years, maybe longer, and that only you have touched it without dying instantly. And as you're holding this, you almost feel like as if someone is saying to you, well done. I guess it's yours. And as that feeling of that thought comes into your head, it's not like a genuine, it's not like telepathy, like something's actually imprinted into your head and you can hear it. Yeah. It's not even audible, you can't hear anything. You just feel like almost you're imagining someone saying that to you. As when you do that, the lightning explodes off of the mountaintop, the black lightning flies away up into the clouds, dispersing the clouds themselves above your head, and the lightning disappears as you are now holding this weapon in your hand, as it is no longer embedded into the peak of the mountaintop. And that is where we shall end this session. Thank you very much for everyone who is listening. I hope that you enjoyed this episode, and I apologise that this episode has gone on for a little bit longer than it normally has, but this has been the Dev Plays the Crucible of Avarice, using the Animite Tales Tabletop RPG. If you wish to have a look at the Animite Tales Tabletop RPG, you can actually have a look at it yourself, as it is in not only open beta, but completely open and free access for anyone who would like to use it on the Animite Tales website at animitetales.com. If you'd also like to help us, we also have a Patreon, and again, this is on the YouTube channel, #AnimiteTales. Thank you very much for listening, and as always, have a wonderful night.
Bye-bye.
Take care.
Bye-bye.
Bye then.